This is Greencastle Antrim Blue Devils football on MidPennBroadcasting.com.
This is a production of MidPennBroadcasting.com, where over 70 local sporting events a year stream live to your PC, laptop, phone, and tablet. Tonight's Greencastle Antrim Blue Devils game is brought to you by F&M Trust. They're in the community and 100% local. Come to the right place for local banking. Member FDIC. Antrim Insurance, your local Erie insurance agent. Waste Management, environmentally friendly technologies and advanced innovations. RE/MAX Premier Executives Agent Lois Baer. Del Martin Incorporated, a full-service advertising agency serving the tri-state area for 35 years. Lecron Comfort Solutions, serving all of Franklin County with professional service and installation. Brothers Pizza Dine-In, carry out and delivery, 50 Pine Drive, Greencastle. Klein Tours, New York City, Atlantic City, and more. Visit kleintours.net for complete tour schedule. Now, with the play-by-play, here's Greg Hoover and Mike Montadoro.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to George Saxton Jr. Memorial Field, East Pennsboro School District in Enola, right across the river from Harrisburg, for tonight's Colonial Division matchup between the visiting Greencastle Antrim Blue Devils and the East Pennsboro Panthers. Tonight's pregame show brought to you by Antrim Insurance, your local area insurance agent serving Greencastle, Waynesboro, Chambersburg, Mercersburg, and surrounding areas. Antrim Insurance, 169 South Antrim Way, Greencastle, and 1685 East Main Street in Waynesboro. Hi again, everyone. I'm Greg Hoover alongside Mike Montadoro. Only Game 5 of the season, and already we are at the big game, the one that could decide the division championship, the one that could decide if either of these teams can run the table and finish the regular season undefeated. And it's only Game 5, Mike, and you really hate to put all that pressure on this one game in the middle of the season, but here it is.
It is. It's right here. It's a division title tonight. Everyone's talking about it. You look at the schedule the rest of the way out, it looks like this is the big game. This is the only, I saw in the Penn Live today or in the paper, the Patriot, this is the only 4-0 team playing a 4-0 team in the area. So a lot is at stake tonight. A little bit of bragging rights in the new Colonial Division.
Now, East Pennsboro used to be in the Colonial Division when it was probably back in about, I think it was 2007. They moved up into the Capital or not the Capital, into the Keystone, I guess. Oh, I'm not sure.
No, they did. They moved into the Capital.
Yeah.
And as you said, what happened was all these superintendents got together with athletic directors with budget crunches and said, let's make these leagues more geographically based. And that was working out great until Gettysburg decides to leave.
Right.
And Northern, and then you get everything gets messed up, and then East Penn's got to go back down to Franklin County to play football.
And it is a drive for them. Every time they come, they got to, and we're one of the closest ones. Shippensburg, Big Spring, obviously, then Greencastle, but then they have to go left or right in Greencastle to get to Waynesboro or James Buchanan, so it is a trip for them. But here they are, 4-0. I noticed that their fans, and it's homecoming here, by the way, wearing shirts saying our time, and they're pretty excited of being right where they are at 4-0. Blue Devils playing well, 4-0 also. Big win last week, Big Spring. Not a good first half, but the second half they came back and played their game.
Yeah, not the best football game we've seen. And I said last night on Talk Chalk that kind of the things I wanted to see happen last week was I wanted to see Greencastle play an entire game. Good or bad, I wanted to see them start it with the guys that they finished the game with because they haven't yet. So before you play this one, you want to play start to finish. The other thing that I wanted to see in that game was some adversity and see how they handled that because you were going to see some this week. How do we handle that adversity? They saw some adversity. They handled it well, came out in the second half. The other thing that I don't know if I would have been thrilled with as a coach, but when I sit back now and look on, I think, all right, everything kind of happened perfectly. Not only did they face some adversity, they didn't play great. They did not play a great football game. So that's a great week of coaching. I'd much rather come into this game where we can convince the kids that we have a lot of work to do as opposed to we blew out Big Spring, what's left. So I kind of like how they're coming into this one.
So it all worked out well for you.
Yeah,
it really did.
For me.
Yeah, for you personally.
I mean, Wednesday night, I thought this is working out exactly how I'd hoped.
Well, and it did, and the Blue Devils did just as you said. They responded well. They did take a hit last week with Derek Measle going out. He'll be out this week. Won't be able to participate with an ankle injury. So that is one on the injury list. They'll be without Sean Walk, one of the starting offensive linemen. He will not be being able to play tonight. But they do have the starting quarterback in Spencer Myers returning to the fold after a week off last week.
And we talked about that last Friday night. What that does is it gives you more athletes on the field. Spencer Myers comes out there, and Sam did a great job filling in. But with Spencer out there, now you got Sam at the wing, you got other things, and you got other things in play that you couldn't do when Sam was a quarterback, because you took an athlete from the wing or from the running back position and you moved them inside. And so I really think they're a better team with Spencer, not because he's that much better of a quarterback than Sam, but I think it puts better players on the field in all positions.
And it does do that. And you also know that you do have a backup quarterback that can play the game for you if need be. So, again,
Right.
just a great round of football for the Blue Devils last week. Well, when we return to the Antrim Insurance pregame show, we'll take a look at the Blue Devils' opponent tonight, the East Pennsboro Panthers, right here on the F&M Trust Sports Network on MidPennBroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Hello.
Okay, people, here's your chance to come clean. Been punished? What did you do?
I backed into a tree.
I got dinged at the mall.
I hit black ice, then a parked car.
And your punishment was?
They raised my auto premium.
Here's how to stop the punishment. Get Rate Lock from Erie Insurance. With Rate Lock, you'll get a low rate that stays low, even if you file a claim. You're locked in until you change cars, drivers, or your address.
Oh.
Which means when you call on us, you'll feel like you're supposed to feel. Relieved.
For complete details or to get a seriously good quote, call Antrim Insurance. In Greencastle, call 593-0500. In Waynesboro, call 762-4565.
See for yourself why more than 90% of Erie customers stay with Erie. Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage. Insured must meet necessary underwriting guidelines. Premium may change if you make policy changes. Not all products are offered in all states. Patent pending.
It's home equity season at F&M Trust. The best time of year to rake in big savings with some of the best rates around on a home equity loan or line of credit. To rake in your savings during home equity season, visit fmtrustonline.com. Equal housing lender.
Every day, Fast Signs helps businesses with their visual communications. We ask the right questions, recommend smart solutions, and help you build your business. At Fast Signs, we're innovators, planners, and designers, and we're more than ready to help. Contact Fast Signs today.
Visit www.fastsigns.com or visit us at our Greencastle and York locations.
Brothers Pizza is a proud supporter of the Greencastle Blue Devils. Brothers Pizza offers a full menu, and breakfast is served 7 days a week. Don't forget Brothers Pizza for your next football party or special event. Our menu selection is great for football parties, birthdays, and other special occasions. Dine in, carry out, and delivery. 50 Pine Drive, Greencastle, next door to Comfort Inn. Phone 597-5322 or order online at mybrospizza.com.
Live and local. This is MidPennBroadcasting.com.
Welcome back. Greg and Mike here. 2 4-0 teams and 2 teams that will run first and throw second. 2 teams with similar styles, but taking different routes, Mike, to get there. While the Blue Devils will rush the ball by committee, normally 6 different players to get the job done. The Panthers' run first offense is handled by one guy. He's 5'9", 205-pound senior Brighton Fegley. He has carried the ball 97 times in 4 games. Quick math will tell you that's about 25 times a game. And he has rushed for 786 yards already, which is 196 a game, and 88.1 yards every time he touches the ball. And he has scored 13 times, which again, Mike, quick math will tell you that's 4 touchdowns a game. It would appear, at least to me, that a key in this game is for the heavily touted Greencastle Antrim defense to stop Mr. Flagley.
And they've been able to stop the run so far this year. They've been doing a great job with that. The thing that would concern me coming into the game is the thing that I say on Friday nights. The East Penn's not going to line up and power football you. They're going to spread the field and run it. And that's the thing where I think Greencastle sometimes put their outside linebackers in a bad spot. They got to play the run and the pass. And if they get Fagley on the edge and linebackers are don't know what to do, they're backing for pass coverage, or they can put the linebackers, the 2 outside backers, in a bad spot tonight. And if they do that, then I think East Pennsboro has a great night tonight.
Well, they do have a quarterback that can throw the ball, T.J. Stallman, who is a 5'11", 175-pound senior. He's thrown 45 times this year, has completed 29 for 64.4%. Pretty good percentage. 1 interception, 5 touchdowns, 368 yards, about 12.7 per pass, and about 92 per game. Not much different than the Blue Devils.
Right, exactly. It's almost like a mirror image, except they're doing it out of different formations. But everything is about the same. And this got a making of a great game tonight.
It sure does. We'll join the people here at East Pennsboro for the playing of our national anthem. The playing of our national anthem by the East Pennsboro Marching Band. The sun slowly settling in the west, which is to your left on the screen, and the field will run east to west here at the George R. Saxton Jr. Memorial Stadium. Reading the sign across the way to make sure we got it right. Tonight's pregame show has been brought to you by Antrim Insurance, your local area insurance agent serving Greencastle, Waynesboro, Chambersburg, Mercersburg, and surrounding areas. Antrim Insurance, 169 South Antrim Way, Greencastle, and 1685 East Main Street in Waynesboro. Well, Mike, we were talking a little bit before the game, like how important it was. We also talked about it in the pregame show. It's important, yes, and actually if the Blue Devils, I think this is a statement game if the Blue Devils can play well here tonight.
I think so as well, and I think Greencastle makes some noise throughout the state with a resounding win tonight. And either way, they're going to make some noise because a lot of people on this end of the Mid-Penn Conference, the Harrisburg end, have not seen the Blue Devils play, just like a lot of our folks haven't seen East Pennsboro. So whoever wins this game tonight gets a lot more hype as the season goes on.
Well, interesting enough, or maybe not, Greencastle will receive the opening kickoff, which is not unusual, and East Pennsboro won the toss and deferred. They want to show their defense first, and the Blue Devils will move right to left. They'll defend the east goal and move toward the west here at George Saxton Jr. Memorial Stadium. I just like saying that,
Yeah, I know you keep saying it, and I think that's great. And I always, I try to get in the coach's head. Why do you defer that kick? I know you want it maybe in the second half, but you try to get a stop right away and gain field position. So if you can stop them in 4 downs, they punt. You flip field position for the whole first half if you can keep playing good defense. That's the mentality. And then coming out in the second half, you get to start coming out of the locker room with fresh legs and play it. However, I like having the ball.
I can understand that. I think so too. It does. Speaking of playing with your head, if you're able to go down and score, wow, that just say because your defense is ready for this first series. They have a great idea what the first 4 plays are going to be. So,
yeah, I like getting the football. I like setting a tone with the offense. Amazing I say that because I didn't think I ever would.
Well, maturity does that to you. Stain Olsen will kick off. It is a squib kick. It is touched by Greencastle. Finally, down he goes as you saw him slip for Greencastle right off the bat. So the Blue Devils not in the best field position, but they'll take it there as Nick Silva took it off the rebound. And it's Blue Devil ball 1st and 10 as Spencer Myers brings his team out onto the field at the 22-yard line.
Nick Silva, he slips down there at about the 22-yard line, and what he did was not playing on a turf field. He tried to cut on his inside foot, and it got away from him. You can do that on turf. You can't do it in grass.
And, of course, it is grass. It's a wide field. They have a lot of room on the sidelines. First play of the game goes to the fullback, and East Penn is right there, stopping on the play. Didn't see who got the ball first. Vogel will be the first man through. Voltrel. Andrew Voltrel carries the ball. No gain, 1 yard gain.
Yeah, coming out, just running the belly like we always do. So they've watched enough film. I mean, give East Pennsboro credit. They have a coaching staff that's been here for a while. Watch a lot of film.
Again, last time these two teams played, 2007, Blue Devils won that. Spencer in the bootleg, looking to throw and does. Fires up here, in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Sam Sprague. It will fall incomplete, about a yard shy of the first down.
Yeah, Sam just let that ball get into his body. He's got to catch it out with his hands. Got it into his body, hit off the pads, and bounced off. But, nice ball fake by Myers. He got out and had Sprague wide open in the middle. And they'll come back to that later. That's going to be there a lot.
3rd and 9 now for the Blue Devils. They will set up with Hines and Voltrel in the backfield. Spencer looking to pass again, throws upfield, completes the pass to Kurt Hansen. Or did he?
No, yeah. Incomplete.
Incomplete. Must have been after the hit. Looked like he had it.
Kurt had the ball. Good catch. Had his hands out. He got hit and lost the ball at contact and rolled out of bounds or fumbled out of bounds. He was beyond the first down marker, so it would have been a first down. But this is what East Pennsboro wanted, right?
Well, you're right. And we'll see what they can do with the football in their hands. Hansen will come on to kick, averaging about 30 yards per punt, as he stands back at the 10-yard line. Snap is there, and the kick, a line drive away, and it's going to go by the up man and roll Greencastle's way. Eric Trossel was the person looking for it, and it is rolled dead down at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, nice punt line drive. I mean, not exactly what you want, but he got the roll on it and got himself out of a hole. They got themselves out of a hole, so he'll start 1st and 10 at the 30. And this will be a big statement here if East Penn can move the ball with Fegley.
3 and out, the first series for the Blue Devils. They punted away. Now East Penn with the ball at the 30. First time they'll touch the ball, and as we said, expect to hear the name Fegley quite often here. They do spread. 3 receivers to the right, actually 4 with a slot there and 1 to the left. Slot goes in motion to the opposite side. Back in the backfield and firing, completing the pass to number 7 that time, and he really doesn't go very far on the play. That is Kyrone Dennis.
Kyrone Dennis picks up 4 on a slip screen, and just because he fell forward for about 4, I don't think it's 4. That yard, I guess it is. About 3.5, 4 yards. He fell forward on the slip screen. They came out in 5 wide shotgun and got the ball to him right away.
Well, they said they'd like to spread it out. Now they go with almost a full house in the backfield. It is a full house, 3 in the backfield, and quarterback under center. They'll send in motion the 1 fullback, and this time it will be Fegley with the football, who just barrels his way up a couple yards. Not really the 8 yards he normally gets.
All right, it's a win.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a win.
It's a win.
So they just come out and run the ISO play. Greencastle runs the same play out of a different formation. They had the full house backfield. They motion him over. The reason they run motion to that is to move the outside linebacker out so he can't come in and help on the ISO.
Fegley, not a real big kid, 5'9", 205 pounds, but he can run the football. Coach says he doesn't dance much. He just likes to go straight forward. In motion comes the 1 halfback as they go with the full house again. And play action, looking to throw, heavy pressure. He's getting away from it. This is Stallman with the run. He's going to get the first down and about 7 yards more as he crosses up over the 45 to the 47-yard line.
Yeah, Greencastle loses contain on that, and he does get outside. And they almost had him in the backfield, but he was able to use some speed and get out on the corner, pick up the first down. So you don't want to see that. You don't want to see the quarterback on the edge running the ball like that.
TJ Stallman goes at 5'11", 175 pounds. He, too, is a senior, 29 for 45 with 1 interception. He has thrown for 5 touchdowns here in the season so far through the first 4 ball games.
Greg, I'm a lot like Fegley. I'm not a big dancer either.
Well, I've heard that.
Well,
your wife told me that. You can't dance. You can't dance. In motion goes the running back to the far side, and there's going to be a flag, probably.
That's against East Pennsboro.
Yep.
Again, they came out and they tried to go into 5 wide, 2 into the short side, 3 to the wide side. Short side of the field, we mean actually toward your camera now. The ball's on the hash mark closest to this sideline. We always call that the short side of the field, and then you got the wide side opposite of that.
Short side, wide side, near side, far side.
Near side, far side. So again, they come out. They got 3 over here on the short side.
And Dennis goes wide to the right side. Now they're going to send the running back over to the left side, the wide side. Straight back pocket, looking to throw. Fires up here. And, whoa, no, incomplete. In and out of the hands of Dakota Snedeker.
Luke's there on the play. Luke's in the middle of the field reading the quarterback's eyes. He's got that 3-deep coverage look, and he's going back reading his eyes. And you almost think if Luke would have turned his head around, he might have been able to pick that if he'd have got his head around a little quicker.
We said that while the defense has been playing, but not a pick yet for the Blue Devils in the first 4 contests. So, again, Stallman comes out. He'll be in the shotgun as they send Snedler in motion, and they're going to fire out here once again on that slip pass to Dennis. Dennis goes a couple yards upfield, but doesn't even get back to the original line of scrimmage to bring up a 4th down situation for the Panthers.
Third down
Third
because
down,
of the penalty.
Me. Oh, that's right, yes.
Yep, so ran the slip screen again for 3. They're going to keep running that because it looks like it's about a shoestring tackle away from going big. Greencastle trying to do a lot of different things with coverage. They play that 40, but they're moving Bray Peck out there. And Bray Peck is covering a back or a slot receiver. And Bray's a heck of an athlete, but I don't know if he can run down the field with some of these kids.
They will bring 2 to the right, 2 to the left, and 1 in the backfield. Looking to pass again. Thrown way down here to number 2, and it falls incomplete to Eric Trussell.
That ball's just a little bit overthrown. Interesting, though, Greg, isn't it, that you got Fegley, one of the leading rushers in the mid-state, and he's touched the ball 1 time?
Well, again, we've said this a lot of times. If you're the offensive coordinator, you're setting plays up, aren't you?
Either that or they came out of all the film study and saying, hey, we could throw the ball at will.
Yeah.
But
Will hasn't caught it yet.
Will
so
has not. They were throwing it at him.
I think we're okay.
You're right.
Punt situation from the 35. Snap, good. Punt, nice punt. Up in the air. It's going to take a bounce. And it's going to take an East Pennsboro roll down to the 11-yard line, deep in Blue Devil territory. Blue Devils will roll it out at that point in time and see what their second offensive series can be.
Yeah, you don't like to see that. You'd rather they call a fair catch on something like that and let that ball hit a couple yards in front of you. You lose about 10 yards of field position. But the Blue Devils got to get it on a roll here. They got to at least get a couple first downs and change the field position again.
3 and out last time on the very first possession. East Pennsboro.
Officials playing catch.
Yeah, I saw that. Lining up in a 4-man front defensively. 4 linebackers. Okay, there's the 2 corners and the safeties, just like Greencastle plays. Little misdirection around there. They're going to give the ball to Hines, and Hines comes right, picks up maybe 3 or 4 yards on that carry, maybe even 5.
Yeah, he gets himself 5 yards on that. They just ran the power sweep. Hines coming back, and they got everybody out in front pulling again. They get blocked down. They kick out the end line of scrimmage and got up there in 5. You say keep doing that, right?
Yeah, first down, you'll take that every time with that. Hines averaging 4.5 a carry. He has 197, just went over 200 for the season. Spencer under center, going to give it to the fullback, and that's a straight up the middle. Graham back in the ball game, missed last week's game, and he's going to pick up a yard on that play.
Yeah, Graham, it looks like someone's down. Looks like it might be Graham is down on the play. Nope,
no,
it's Stephen Johnson.
Yeah, Stephen Johnson, who's playing at the defense or offensive line position for Sean Walk. Blue Devils will have to send a sub in for him as looks like I can't really tell. It's going to say ankle injury, but it's hard to tell from up here.
Hard to tell from up here. It looked like that Graham had that hole back to the left. I thought he kind of cut too soon, too early on that guard trap to the right and ran into some traffic. If he cuts it to the left a little bit, I think he would have hit a seam. But again, I don't have the ball back there, and I'm not looking at what he's looking at. But from our vantage point, it looked like the hole was more left than right. And this is a tough one here. If you don't have Welk in the game, the nice thing about Johnson was he was playing defense only, and he was fresh all night and can make a lot of plays for you. And now he's got to go both ways. And so if you lose him on offense, you're going to lose him on defense.
Jack Lindemann, the senior, has come in to replace Johnson, and just hoping it's taking a little while there. He's getting up on his feet, which is a good thing. Don't forget this broadcast brought to you by F&M Trust. It's home equity season at F&M Trust. A great time to rake in big savings with some of the best interest rates around on a home equity loan or line of credit. Learn more at fnmtrustonline.com. Equal housing lender. He looks to be okay, Mike. I think take a look at him from the training staff, and hopefully he'll get back in the ball game.
So you got a 3rd and 4 here?
You do. Another third down situation of the Blue Devils. Last time was unsuccessful. They will send Silva to the far side of the field. Sprague comes to the near side in the wide out position. 1 in the backfield, 2 in the backfield as Spencer is under center. 3-step drop, looking to throw to Sprague. Throws behind him, incomplete. And that will bring the punting unit on once again.
Yeah, I like the call. We don't see too many slants or digs out of the Blue Devils. I like the call. It just looked like the timing wasn't there. It looked like Spencer threw the ball way too early. He didn't even have his head around, and he got rid of the football. So not a great connection there.
Second punt of the game for Kurt Hansen, and second possession. Deep back is Trussell for East Penns, and he's standing inside Blue Devil territory. Nice high punt this time. Going to take a bounce at the 45, and then down at about the 48, and then down at the 48-yard line by the Blue Devils. Pretty good, decent field position for East Penn.
Pretty good, decent is exactly the way East Pennsboro. As we said, if you're the coach, why you take defense early as you flip field position for you. So now you got the first down and you got short side of the field. You only got to go 48 yards to try to get some points out of this. So right now it's working perfect to script for East Penn. And I bet we see Fegley this series.
You think?
I think so.
Touched the ball once in that first series, and they ran 7 plays, including the punt. They'll run from the, is that a shotgun or what's the correct term of that one? Put one man in motion. He'll come near us. They'll roll this way, little pitch. The pitch gets a couple yards on it. You saw the underhand scoop pass, or not underhand.
A little shuffle pass.
Shuffle pass, thank you. Now you count that as a completed pass, which makes Stallman 1 for 3 on the night. So the pistol is when your running backs are behind you. The shotgun is when the running backs are in front of you. What are they?
It's a sidecar. He's just got a sidecar.
Sidecar.
I guess. I don't know. It's a different term everywhere you go, right?
It is. Different term, yeah.
That's the hardest part about changing football teams is you all speak a different language, but it's the same stuff.
Same stuff. 4 receivers out to the left, the far side, the Y side. They're going to come to the weak side. Sprague defending. Oh, what a catch. And that's going to be a touchdown. Into the hands of Kyron Dennis. Looked like it was going to fall incomplete. And the next thing you know, Dennis makes the catch, and off he goes.
They put 4 guys to the wide side of the field. They put Dennis singled up on Sam Sprague down here, and Dennis just runs down the sideline. He puts air under the ball, throws it up, and as you said, Dennis sticks his paws out the last second, gets it, and the Panthers score a touchdown.
Without, by the way, giving the ball to Fegley. Extra point attempt coming from Stein. Snap is down, and kick is blocked by Hurst.
Could mean huge, right?
Yeah, could be. Hurst with the block, but the touchdown does count, and East Penn goes up with the Blue Devils 6-0 here on the F&M Trust Sports Network on MidPennBroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
It's home equity season at F&M Trust. The best time of year to rake in big savings with some of the best rates around on a home equity loan or line of credit. To rake in your savings during home equity season, visit fmtrustonline.com. Equal housing lender.
Chalk Talk. We talk high school football every Thursday night at 7:30 on MidPennBroadcasting.com.
Scoreboard clock reading 5:37 here in the opening quarter, and 6-0 lead for East Pennsboro. It was a 3-play drive starting at the Blue Devil 48, so 48 yards in 3 plays capped by that pass play. 45 yards will give them from Stallman to Dennis, and of course the block kick after point attempt, and the score is 6-0. Another squib kick. It's a free ball, but I think Blue Devils are able to get on it, and might have had us worried a little bit there. But nevertheless, it is retrieved by Matthew Overholser. Blue Devils have a little better field position to see if they can get things going here. At least than the last time. They started at the 22, the 16. This time they get the start at the It's at the 35-yard line.
That is the 35-yard line, and you're right. You want to see Greencastle now. They got to start stacking some first downs themselves and start to get a little bit of momentum in this thing.
Well, if you count the touchdown as a first down, only 2 first downs in the game. Looking to blitz. Fumble on the ball on the snap. Spencer came out a little slow, didn't have the ball, rather a little quick, and he is able to retrieve it. And just a wasted play is what it ends up being.
Wasted play. Just looks like Greencastle. One thing we don't talk about is we say, hey, Spencer Myers is back this week, but he missed a week of football.
Yes, he did.
And there's a difference between coming and practicing and playing in games, and the game speed is different.
6 fumbles so far this year for the Blue Devils. They have lost 3 of them. Fortunately, none that time. ISO back in the backfield. Blitz being shown. They're going to give the ball to the wingback, and he is strung out and goes nowhere. Got to flip the card.
That's a flag over there. It looks like it's a kind of call where you might see a holding against the Blue Devils. Our cameraman is saying that's definitely a horse collar tackle.
That was Demetrius Burton, the ball carrier for the Blue Devils. He is in place of it is a face masking against East Pennsboro.
The horse collar in the front.
He's in place of Derek Measle. So the Blue Devils get their first break of the ball game.
That is their first break of the game, and they've got to do something with this break.
15 yards marched off against East Pennsboro. First down. By the way, Burton is a freshman at 5'9", 165 pounds. Second penalty, as we mentioned, for East Pennsboro. So close to center field, they're at still 48-yard line. There's an encroachment penalty. They keep showing that blitz, Mike, but they don't go. And now that time it did damage.
It did do damage. They start pointing at who to block and who to pick up, and then he just stepped too far over the line. So it gives you a 1st and 5 here. And maybe here's the chance you take a shot. This is where you take your shot, right?
Right.
1st and 5, you take a shot, see what you got.
Hanson to the near side of the field. They'll work from the right hash mark. Wide out to the right side of the field. 2 wing backs and an ISO back in the backfield for the Blue Devils. In motion. And they're going to hand it straight up the middle to the fullback, little running room for Votrol. And Votrol down to the 35-yard line, and they get a first down on their own.
Nice job. They ran right behind Bobby Ryder with the little trap over there. They ran the motion like the jet sweep to the left, and everybody, or to our right, coming toward us, and everybody was starting to move to that jet sweep, and they ran Votrol right behind Bobby Ryder in behind it. So nice play design by the Blue Devils.
Bray Peck to the outside, on the far side of the field. This is Hanson on the near side of the field. They're going to give it this time to Burton, trying to come around the left side, run down from behind, and holds on to the ball and gets knocked down maybe a yard up on that sweep. Maybe. Yep.
Yeah, you're looking at possibly a yard on that. And Burton, right now I think Burton's just trying to turn that up too soon. Because he's got enough speed to beat guys to the edge, and he's getting caught kind of from inside and behind. So he's just got to take it wider before he starts making the cut up the field.
Once again, they'll send Stoliber way out to the outside. In motion comes Burton. They'll fake to him. Spencer gets away from one, fires and completes the pass to the tight end Bray Peck, and Peck has the first down and 5 yards.
Yeah, Bray Peck wide open in the middle of the field. Spencer did a great job, Houdini there, getting out of the first guy. You know, that was one of our rules all the time, make the first guy miss, and he did.
Yeah, he did a great job. I thought he was going to be going down for that.
Well, they were both shocked.
I think they were.
Myers was shocked that he was there, and he was shocked that Myers had the ball.
Still, at that point in time. 2 in the backfield. Myers 3-stop drop, and he gets hit as he throws for Hanson. Oh, my goodness gracious, in and out. Sorry about that.
No. That's a great call. That's a great call. It's like a professional here. But Hanson, man, a day you think he's got to make that catch. The ball hits him in the hands down there in that end. And it was the perfect throw. Outside shoulder over the top. And Hanson made a break on it. He did turn on the jets to get there, but the ball hits him in the hand, hits the ground, and that's one you'd love to have.
I thought it was in, And as you give Spencer credit, he is 1 of 5 right now, and 3 have been in and out of hands. Not his fault, but it'll show that on the stat sheet. He's going to try to roll the right, and they're setting up the screenplay, and they complete it to Hines. Hines falls right away.
Just took too long.
Yep.
It took way too long to get started, and Hines couldn't get himself turned around and up the field. And I mean, East Penn did a nice job playing it from inside out, but it just took too long.
Greencastle with a nice travel crowd here to East Pennsboro. East Pennsboro, you look on the other side of the field, they have really a big crowd here tonight. Not only is it homecoming, but they're excited about their 4-0 team too. Big play, 3rd and 9 for the Blue Devils, starting at the 22-yard line. 2 in the backfield. Spencer, bootleg, looking to throw, and does. Completes the pass to Voltro. Voltro is hit near the line of scrimmage. Now they're going to say he was
first down.
First
he's
down.
inside the 10.
Yep.
He should be right down in the 10 there, right at the 10-yard line.
Our vantage point not as high as sometimes at Greencastle or other places. But the Blue Devils pick up their 3rd first down of this drive. Remember, it started at their own 35-yard line. Secret now is to keep it going. Sprague will go to the right side. Tight end is on the right side. Sprague in the wing position. Actually, both wing and double tight end. They're going to give it to Sprague, trying to go around the left side. Has a little running room as he crashes up. I think that's what you explained about Burton that time. Sam waited for it, tried to go to the outside, and he picks up a couple of yards, 5, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, you gotta get there quick and hit that thing hard as you get to that edge, and look like that Burton is kind of waiting for it to break. And that's Burton's first varsity action.
Sure.
He just he hasn't played it. And again, no matter how many times you do this until you play it on Friday night, it's a different speed.
From the 8-yard line, 2nd and 6. ISO back in the backfield is Voltro. They're going to throw for the end zone. Knocked out of the hands of the intended receiver. Is that Sprague? It is.
Yeah, knocked out of Sprague's hands as he went up to catch the ball at the highest point like he's supposed to. Ball gets batted away. Looked like Votro was wide open, though, underneath. Again, that same play they ran for the first down. Looked like Votro was open down around the pylon, and he thought Sam, they were both open.
Yeah.
The ball was high, and it got knocked away.
55 seconds remaining in quarter number 1. 6-0 ball game. East Penn on top. One of the few times that Greencastle has trailed, maybe the first time this year. Myers fakes the handoff, throws for the end zone. Sprague says he has it. Touchdown, Greencastle. Sorry for the delay, but East Pennsboro said he dropped the ball, and Greencastle said he caught the ball.
The ball was rolling around. It did hit him. He didn't catch it clean at first. He was rolling around, but I think he landed on his back, and the ball landed on his belly. They don't have video replay,
No, they don't.
So it counts.
Hansen will come up to try the extra point. That's not Hansen.
That is not Hansen.
That is not Hansen. That will be at the line drive shot. It's no good. So we've had an exchange of block kicks or no good attempts, and the score with 47 seconds remaining in the first quarter is 6-6. That's an interesting call, Mike. Look here.
Well, I see Hansen down here, so unless he hurt his big toe.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but nevertheless, no good. So it was, as we mentioned, going to be 8 plays, 65 yards.
But he's going to kick off. Hansen's going to kick off here. And I mean, listen, Hansen he's not been automatic on extra points this year, but you never know if it's the snap, the hold, the kick, what it is. And so there he is right there, but now he comes out for the kickoff, and it just
strange call.
Strange call, game time, all that. Something we kicked the field goal last week with him.
So the Blue Devils have managed to tie it up. It's sort of just what we thought this might be, Mike. Close game through at least the first 12 minutes. Hansen, line drive, hit and off the glove of the shortstop. Picked up at the 20-yard line. They'll bring it up and down, gang tackled at about the 26-yard line.
And the difference of the difference of the sidelines. Now you get that score, and all of a sudden the energy is back. Everything came back for you, so it's things are going well right now.
This will be the third offensive series.
2 down into the short side.
From the shotgun, look at the pass again. Heavy rush from Ryder. And the quarterback will keep it, travel out of bounds on his own.
So he's out at about the 29, so he picked up 2 on that. That's about a 2-yard gain.
That's the second carry he has. He's carried more than Fegley has.
Yeah, is Fegley hurt maybe?
Well, look for 22 out there.
I mean, he's not even in the backfield most times.
There he is. Isn't that 22? They're hard to see sometimes. It's a full house backfield. He is in the fullback position. They'll send in motion one of the halfbacks, and this time it is Fegley. Fegley is hit right away, and down he goes.
Yeah, that touchdown for the Blue Devils could be huge right here, as the momentum seems to have shifted a little bit. Now, this is not what you want to see here. Bobby Ryder loses his helmet during the play. If you lose your helmet, you have to come out for a play. Man, sometimes when you got your guys out there, you got to duct tape that thing to their head.
It will never come off again.
I mean, I understand the rule because you don't want guys out there with their helmets loose. But you got quarter. Now he should be able to go back in after the quarter break, I would believe.
Well, that is the end of the first quarter. Up on the board, it's all tied up, 6 apiece on the F&M Trust Sports Network, on midpennbroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Days are shorter now, and South Central PA is showing off her best fall colors. That means home equity season at F&M Trust. The best time of year to rake in big savings with some of the best rates around on a home equity loan or line of credit. Access extra funds for anything you want. Consolidate high-interest bills, keep up with college expenses, or get whatever you need. It's up to you. To rake in your savings during home equity season, visit any F&M Trust office or fmtrustonline.com. Restrictions apply. Equal housing lender.
Brothers Pizza is a proud supporter of the Greencastle Blue Devils. Brothers Pizza offers a full menu, and breakfast is served 7 days a week. Don't forget Brothers Pizza for your next football party or special event. Our menu selection is great for football parties, birthdays, and other special occasions. Dine in, carry out, and delivery. 50 Pine Drive, Greencastle, next door to Comfort Inn. Phone 597-5322 or order online at mybrospizza.com.
Your home for Franklin County sports. This is midpennbroadcasting.com.
Stallman under center comes up firing and completes the pass again to Kyron Dennis on that just that little, what do you call it, a slant pass.
Yep, just a little dig route.
Little dig route, as you would say. First quarter, 6-6, 11:54, an exchange of touchdowns and exchange of missed field goals. Greencastle blocked one, and I think Greencastle just missed the other one.
That was a big stop. They needed a stop there.
Third play of this offensive series, 1st and 10.
Wildcat. They got the Wildcat.
Yep, they do. And this is Dennis, and Dennis doesn't go very far on that play. They did get a first down the last time. I apologize for not telling you that. And this one will go just a few yards. Well, we've seen a shotgun, we've seen the pistol, we've seen up under center, we've seen the Wildcat, but we haven't seen Fegley much.
We have not, and maybe Coach Studer thinks that, you know, that Greencastle's prepared so much for him that we're going to put him in different places and use other kids. So if you want to psych yourself out, that's great, but you got a guy with 800 yards rushing in 4 games. I say you give him the football.
And I don't even see him he's not even there. He's not in the backfield. So I don't know if is this him coming here? No, that's not him. So we looked at the man coming. There he is. He was in the backfield. Broke one tackle, and he gets another couple yards. First positive run for Fegley on run number 3.
Number 3, they just ran the counter, so it's like the old counter trade the Redskins ran. He jab steps to his left, comes back to his right. They get a trap block down there. He picks up about 4 yards on the play, but as you said, well short of the 8 average.
Yeah, got to look at the positive side.
That's right.
3rd down, facing East Pennsboro, and about 2 to go. I try very hard to say East Pennsboro. There is a school district, another high school called East Penn, and we sometimes get confused, but it's easier to say East Penn than East Pennsboro. They'll send the man in motion. He won't go far. They're going to give it back here to Dennis, and Dennis hit once. Oh, man, he was hit twice and got the first down. Great second effort.
Yeah, great effort by Dennis. He's a big kid, Dennis. He's a big, strong kid. He broke the first tackle, kind of rolled himself into the second, and got a first down. Yeah,
he's a junior, 6'1", 205 pounds, and he will go out right now as Stallman does the same thing that the Blue Devils do. The quarterback goes over to the offensive coordinator and then runs back out to the center of the field. I'm never quite sure that why you want to tire out your quarterback, but until they put the radios in the helmets, as they have in the pro game and the college game, that's going to be some of the way they do it. Full house in the backfield, left hash mark. In motion comes the one halfback. Going to give it this time to Fegley. Fegley hit once and then hit at the line of scrimmage, and they got to blow the whistle sometime, don't they? The forward motion looked to be stopped, but they're going to give him the second effort on that.
Yeah, I think the whistle's got to be blown there, too. That's just a push from behind from his teammates as forward momentum was stopped. But that's still not a huge pickup. First, and you get 2 on first down.
2nd and 8. Just under 9 minutes here in the second quarter. 6-6 ball game. Just joining us, both teams punted away their first possessions. Greencastle punted their second possession. Then East Pennsboro scored. Greencastle came back with a score, and now East Pennsboro has the football. There is an offsides penalty. Someone moved on the Greencastle part.
And they take Fegley off the field. They make a whole personnel substitution grouping, and you might see if they stay in this and run. Now they're going to bring everybody back on now because it's a 2nd and short. But you're going to see there they were going to put Dennison wide all by himself. Single receiver on the outside, and they were going to throw the ball down there. At least that was my belief.
I think you were probably right, but since they have a 2 and short yardage situation, not real short, 2 and 3, 2nd down and 3, they'll bring kind of that full house backfield with the fullback being Fegley. In motion goes the halfback, looking to pass, heavy rush by Peck, throw into the sideline and incomplete.
Yeah, nice play by Bray Peck getting up the field, putting a rush on the quarterback. Bray Peck's had heck of a year.
Yes, he has.
Phenomenal season so far this year, both sides of the ball.
Just going to mention that. Beat me to it.
I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. Glad we're thinking alike.
Yep, we are thinking alike.
Large crowd here tonight for homecoming, but I think more importantly, they wanted to see these two 4-0 teams play. It is the Penn Live game of the week. It is the Game Time PA game of the week. It's everybody's game of the week, and the only 4-0 undefeated contest in the area. Fegley, fullback, or sidecar to Stallman, right to his left. Stallman 3-step back, heavy rush. He throws it into the ground.
They tried to run Fegley on the screen pass, and it was covered here by Oberholzer. And again, there are two things I think that Greencastle can defend. The counter crisscross, because they run it every day.
Right.
And that screen, they run that same throwback screen. So they see those things every day in practice. They can defend some of that, and they defended it that time. So it's a 4th down, and East Penn, if everybody stays on sides, East Penn will punt the ball away here.
Yes, they will.
East Pennsboro.
Whatever you want to call them. Hanson Sprague deep back for the Blue Devils. Snap is there, and the punt, a good one. High and over the heads of everybody. It's going to roll out of bounds, or not out of bounds, into the end zone. So, excellent punt. And the Blue Devils will get the football back at their own 20-yard line. Robert Kopp, a 165-pound, 6'1" sophomore, the punter. Blue Devils, last time they touched the football, were able to put it in the end zone. 65-yard drive. This one would have to be an 80-yard drive. Working from the center of the field. Handoff will go to Hines. Hines breaks a couple tackle, still on his feet, and then finally brought down near the first down marker.
And now you see Greencastle start to get going here. You got James Hines just running the power sweep. They got movement up in front. You got Bobby Ryder here on the right side caving it down in, and Hines breaks the tackle. You got Dennison reaching in trying to grab the ball. If he reaches in and tries to make a tackle, you might stop him, but he reaches for the ball, and Hines keeps going.
Silva to the near side of the field, the lone running back. This time they're going to go. Whoa, he breaks the tackle. That is going to be Tyler Graham. Graham to the 40, to the 30, to the 20, and brought down from behind at the 15-yard line. A simple dive play up the middle, and he broke it for a big one.
That's it, Tyler Graham. Great run for him. He hit that hole to the left, and we saw down here earlier. This time he hit it up here, and, man, he goes. He got caught. A good hustle by the East Pennsboro Panthers coming down the right side. Was that Fagley on the tackle?
You know, I don't know, but I think it is because he's out here.
Exhausted.
He's exhausted.
Well, it's the first time he's run today.
That's true. That's true. Blue Devils now go into East Pennsboro territory at the 15-yard line. Myers 2 in the backfield, up under center, in motion break back to the far side of the field. Long count, throw back here to Burton. Burton left sweep, fakes the inside, tries to go around the outside, and gets dragged down from behind, but about a 3-yard pickup.
About a 3-yard pickup. And I got to tell you, I usually say this on the TV here, on the computer. Burton's a heck of a running back. I don't know if he's ready for prime time yet.
Well, we'll see what we shall see.
There's some plays to be made out there, and he just isn't able to get that corner, and that's just experience is all that is. 2nd and 8
for the Blue Devils. See Silva line up here in the wide out position to the right. Wing or slot to the right, and Myers looking to throw. Throws, comes out here, and he hits the fullback coming out of the backfield, and he gets up to about the 11-yard line. That was Hines, and Hines appears to be...
No, it's Graham. Tyler Graham. Yeah,
Graham appears
Tyler
to
Graham.
be
Maybe
hurt.
just got the wind knocked out of him.
Slow to get up, but he's going to come out. So a interesting 3rd and long 5 situation for the Blue Devils. He is out of he was able to make his way off the field, but he is out of the player's box, so they're going to wait till they take care of him in that situation, and they will not start the ball game. If you're planning a home improvement project, be ready to handle the mess with the Bagster dumpster in a bag form from Waste Management. It's easy to use. It's strong enough to hold up your 3,300 pounds of debris. One call to Waste Management, and the debris will be gone. Buy your Bagster today at a home improvement retailer or visit thebagster.com to learn more.
I almost fell over when you said debris. I didn't even know. My favorite band was DeBarge.
DeBarge, I'm sure it was.
So I thought that's where we were going with that.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, let me ask you this question now. The field goal's off the table here, right?
No.
Well, come on. You got 2 downs to get, what do you need, 6 yards?
Yeah,
you got 2 downs. But no, I'm just saying, what we just saw down here in the extra point, are we willing to say the field goal's off the table? If Kurt Hansen's not going to come out and kick it.
I will say this, if Kurt Hansen's not kicking, yes, I think they go for it. But we're not sure why Kurt Hansen didn't kick.
No, that has not been radioed to the booth yet.
No. Our sideline reporter, sideline reporter is failing us at this point in time.
Steve, our cameraman, Steve Sibio's yelling out the window.
Yeah,
now.
he's trying
Hey, what's wrong with Kurt Hansen?
Now, I have to give Steve credit. He wants to be the sideline reporter, and we would love to promote him to that position, but we haven't been able to.
We don't have a microphone.
We don't have the remote system available yet for us. Coming up at halftime, which is about 6 minutes away here or more, we're going to take a look at we'll take a look at the first half, of course, but we'll also look at the schedules from around the area, games from last week, and games from this week as we watch closely at the scoreboard. Actually, to be honest with you, this is the big game, particularly in the Colonial League, but some other interesting games taking place. Don't forget, Gary Klein and Mike Berger are at Chambersburg on our other channel. Switch it over and you can see Chambersburg and State College at home in Chambersburg on Mid-Penn Broadcasting and Game Time PA. Good fakes. Stands up and fires in the middle, completes the pass down near the 1-yard line, and touchdown.
He gets in. Heck of a play by Bray Peck. Hits him right in the numbers with the ball, catches it with his hands, turns around, uses his big body, and gets himself down inside and crosses the goal line. Great play by the Blue Devils. I'd like to see them start to take over this game here.
Well, I got the feeling they might. Now let's see. Hansen is in to do the kicking charge. chores at this point in time. So see if he can put the other one up on the board. This extra point attempt brought to you by Remax Premier Executives, the State Line, Lois Bear Agent, phone 597-2777. Snap down, placement up, kick looks good from here. And it is. So the Blue Devils have struck again at the 5:59 mark, and they go up on this one 13-6 on the F&M Trust Sports Network on midpennbroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Hey, insurance companies that want to spend $1 gazillion on funny TV ads can go right ahead, as long as it's not my money paying for it. For seriously good auto, home, business, or life insurance, I go to Erie Insurance, where a great price is just the start. You get unbelievable service, independent agents you can really trust, and superior products. But don't just take it from me. Talk to your local Erie agent.
Call Antrim Insurance. In Greencastle, call 593-0500. In Waynesboro, call 762-4565.
This is Greencastle Antrim Blue Devils football on midpennbroadcasting.com.
First possession of the second quarter for the Blue Devils pays off for them as they travel 80 yards in a mere five plays. As we mentioned, Graham had that gigantic run, and then the pass from Myers to Peck. Myers' second touchdown pass. Extra point was good, and the Blue Devils rack up 6 more points. You see the kickoff, they're having a little trouble bringing down the kick returner, but finally he runs out of bounds somewhere around the 30-yard line, yes.
Yeah, it looks like they got him out at about the 27, 28-yard line, so it'll be 1st and 10. And this will be a good defensive series for the Blue Devils here.
And a chance to get the ball back.
Chance to get the ball back. 5 minutes to go till half.
No timeouts have been used thus far by either team. I formation in the backfield for East Pennsboro. I haven't seen that one yet. And they're going to give it to Fagley. Fagley gets hit right away. Fagley, his 5th run, and I bet you, Mike, he might have 10 yards.
Yeah, Fagley gets wrapped up by Bobby Ryder right in the middle of the field, and he just kind of corrals him, sucks him up, and throws him down, and he picked up 2 on the play.
It was interesting. You knew they have this great runner, and we have this great defensive line. Someone's going to come out on top of this one. Which one was it going to be? And Fagley, who averages almost 200 yards a game right now, the defense has won out.
Here we go down here on this side.
They bring out Dennis, who has been dangerous from the left side. He's going to fake step, and they got a wide open man down here at the 30-yard line, 50-yard line, and Bray Peck just lost the assignment for a moment, and the catch is made by Sneddecker, and it is complete.
Yeah,
you can set that play
Well,
up.
that's just a tough coverage. They came across the field in motion. They've been running that slip screen underneath. He pumped the screen, and the kid in motion ran the wheel right up the sideline, and that's impossible coverage for Bray Peck to run out there and then turn his hips and get up the side, and that's a nice play design by them, and I think you'll see it again if they stay in that coverage.
I tell you what, Stallman did a good job of faking it's hard to fake that pass. You know, you have to hold on to it. Speaking of timeouts, we now have one registered on the books. This is the first timeout of the ball game. It's called by East Pennsboro at 5:03. Greencastle up 13-6 on the F&M Trust Sports Network on midpennbroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Your home for Franklin County sports. This is midpennbroadcasting.com.
This broadcast is brought to you by the investment and trust experts at F&M Trust. Point your future in the right direction with smarter retirement planning from F&M Trust. For more than a century, we've provided members of the community with personal guidance and expert financial management solutions. We can do the same for you to reach your goals tomorrow. Schedule your free no-obligation retirement review at F&M Trust today. Greg Hoover, Mike Monadora, thanks for joining us on the Mid-Penn Broadcasting. We are in game number 5 of this, what we think is a young season, but it is halfway through at this point in time. Blue Devils in a big game against East Pennsboro. They lead at 13-6. Sidecar formation, two-step backdrop, looking to throw again, and now he goes. And, he caught that ball, and it's a touchdown. Big spring. Wow, great catch by Eric Trossel. And actually, I didn't think the defense was that bad, Mike.
No, the defense wasn't that bad. He got a step behind him. The ball was good throw down underneath, and it's tough to cover that with an outside backer with a fast kid down the seam and not having help over the top. It's a tough play. I mean, these guys work on it. They draw it up, and they're perfect right now.
Almost another block, but this one's going to go up through the uprights as Stein makes the kick good. And so now, with 4:55 remaining in the first half, we're all tied up at 13-13, Mike.
We are all tied up at 13-13, and I'll give you some local scores of what I think is going on right now as we do it. But we'll see. Oh, I had it for a second, and then of course, I lose things right away because that's what happens to me. But I had Waynesboro leading 14-3 in the second quarter. Shippensburg beating Mechanicsburg 7-3 in the second quarter. And I have no score on JB Big Spring. So right now, Waynesboro up 14-3 and Shippensburg up 7-3. Both somewhat surprises.
Yes, it is. 72 yards, 3 plays. Extra point is good, 13-13 at the 4:55 mark. That series took not even a minute, 56 seconds for East Pennsboro to get back on the scoreboard. Olsen Stein, the kick. It's another squib kick. Greencastle has a little problem picking it up. One of the up backs, and it does look to be behind, makes the pickup and takes it to, wait for the spot over there. See where they finally put the ball down. It's going to be about the 33-yard line for the Blue Devils in GA territory. Plenty of time here left in the half. All 2 timeouts remaining for the Blue Devils.
4:48, you just don't want to give it back.
No, you don't.
Whatever happens here, even if you don't get points, you don't want them touching the ball before halftime.
It is the misdirection to Sprague, I believe.
Yep, they ran a little counter crisscross with Sprague, and he picked up 9, so gives you 2nd and 1.
Yeah, that was just a little difficult to, I tell you, when you're down low, it is harder to watch for that. So hopefully you saw it on the computer screen as I missed that. Blue Devils defending the west goal, moving left to right here. Clock at 4:22, and the Blue Devils a yard shy of a first down on 2nd down. ISO back in the backfield, wings both sides. They're going to give it this time on the sweep to Hine, and this time it doesn't go anywhere. It is read well by the defense, and making the stop is Christian Bogans, 6', 230-pound senior for East Pennsboro.
Loses a yard on the play, makes it a 3rd and 2, and this is a big 3rd down for Greencastle. Big 3rd down here.
Yes, it is, because quickly you have to give the ball back. Two backs in the backfield. They're going to give it to Hines again. Hines trying to get that first down, and there is a flag. It should be a face masking. At least that's what our eagle-eye cameraman says. But even if not, it looks like forward motion is close enough to the first down.
Yeah, he's at the stick or above the stick. So there you go. That gives you a big chunk of yards with 3:32 to go. Moves you on the other side of the 50.
That could be a 5, or a 5 is incidental, 15 or 10 is the intentional, I guess. So that is a 5-yard and a first down for the Blue Devil.
State College leading Chambersburg 14-6.
It's not bad. No, I'm saying
that's what it's come to.
That's what it's come to, unfortunately. I hate to say that. Myers handoff to Andrew Votrel. Votrel nowhere on the play as he tried to go up the middle, and there wasn't anything there.
No, Votrel gets it back. Maybe picks up about a half a yard. They give him a half yard on the push, so it'll be a 2nd and 9.5 and 3:04 in the clock. And I agree. If you're Greencastle, you don't have to be in a huge hurry here. You got 3 timeouts. You want to try to find something to get you a big chunk here, maybe.
So they'll set up with a slot and a wide out to the short side, the near side. Bootleg, Meyer steps up in the pocket, has a little running room, gets tripped up, and the spot will give him about 4 yards on that, maybe 3 yards, and what's it going to be? A 3rd down and 5.
3rd and 5. They're doing a nice job. They're trying to take away the waggle action by coming hard off the weak side and getting in his face as soon as he turns around. Now, he made a play earlier tonight down here, missing that guy. But, eventually they're going to figure it out and get in, better stance and better position. And that's kind of where East Pennsboro is now. They're just playing it a little bit better.
3rd and 4. Little left of the right hash mark. Going to give it to the fullback, straight up the middle. He looks like he has it from where I am sitting. Tyler Graham will get the 1st down. And, yes, the spot is going to give him the 1st down. He is going to get the 1st down. And that's probably only the 2nd time this year we've seen a pile start moving back the other way. So, it's a formidable opponent when the piles are even now. You go one way, then back the other. 1st and 10 for the Blue Devils, 1:45. Now you start looking at using those timeouts to get down the field, maybe even a pass or two here in this situation. 1st and 10 inside East Pennsboro. And Myers looking to throw. Finally comes up and throws. And Hansen makes an excellent grab after tap by 2 East Pennsboro players. And it is a completed pass. Yeah, they get up, get their hands on it and tap it. Hansen coming back to the ball, is able to make the catch. They're going to stop the clock to set the chains. That'll be at the 30-yard line. So 1:27, the clock will start once the chains are set. Well, they set them already. So there you go. Greencastle breaks huddle. Hansen comes to the near side. It'll be the wide side also as they work from the left hash mark now. 2 in the backfield as Spence goes under center. He's going to roll to the right and come back to the left. Completes the pass to the tight end. Tight end has some running room and a dive for the 1st down. That is Jared Stolliver, and Jared gets the pass completion and the 1st down. Now you got a minute. They threw it on that little backside screen there. You got a minute to go. He's going to wind the clock here, and they got to start using timeouts, right? Well, I would think. Did they wind the clock yet? Oh, now he's taking a timeout, but you lost about 8 seconds, 9 seconds. Yeah, you lost a minute here. Greencastle takes their first timeout of the half at the 0:51 mark. This, Mike, I got to say it. I know this is the obvious, and call me Captain Obvious, but they got to score here. They got to pick up some points on this one. You got to get points. You can't let East Pennsboro come out of the half with the ball in their hands and getting it in. And what I'm looking at right now, if you were to ask me, I would tell you that I believe Greencastle is the better football team. I would think right now East Pennsboro's made a couple big plays on offense to keep them in this thing, a couple big pass plays. But the East Penn is doing a nice job against the defense designing those pass plays, and they're making big plays on them. So, but if we had to go if you were asking me which team I'd like, I'd take the Blue Devil team. But East Penn has made some plays to stay in it. Here's the deal: Greencastle usually gets stronger in the second half. They don't play well. They're playing a few more players because of injuries both ways, but not that they at least have some people that can rest, and they have been strong. If you look over East Pennsboro, not a lot on the sideline, so I would anticipate them not using a lot of people. They use both ways. Spencer from the shotgun stays in the pocket. Now he's in trouble. Fumble, ball on the ground. Yeah, he lost that football. Luckily, Dennison got it. He knocked it out, but luckily he didn't pick it up, because if he did, he was going the distance. Yes, he was. And Dennison dropped it, and then eventually East Penn picks up the ball. So right here, there's 43 seconds to go. East Pennsboro, they didn't get the points you wanted. Doggone. And they got the turnover. So if you're Greencastle, you got to back off your coverage here. I think you have to. If they're going to catch a ball, you let them catch it in front of you and make a tackle. All right, see what they can do in this fight. You're right. Both touchdowns have been off 45 and 48-yard pass plays. And sort of shockers, both of them, that they landed. Coverage wasn't bad on either one of them. They're going to send 2 receivers to this side, 2 receivers to the far side. The one I'd look out for, of course, is always Dennis. Quarterback's going to keep it going around the outside and tries to get and does successfully get out of bounds. But it's not really a big pickup, Mike. No, they were looking for that shuffle pass again.
They're looking to try to get that up underneath and get Fagley out there by himself with the ball in his hands. But 36 seconds to go. And here you are. And again, we're
shotgun, looking to throw. Does throw. Coming down here. Almost a great catch. He had to dive into it, but he couldn't hold on to it, the intended receiver, so it will fall short. And a third down situation with 30 seconds left.
Boy, Luke just, he's sitting back there at safety. It's the right thing. He's reading the quarterback's eyes, but he's rounding himself back there. He's got to break at a 45-degree angle, come up the field, catch that ball in front of the guy, and because he's rounding and running to the receiver, he's not getting there in time.
Greencastle four-man front, and then they do have the cornerbacks, and Kega, as you mentioned, he is the free safety back here. I formation in the backfield. They are going to give it to the man Fagley. Fagley gets hit, and down.
Yeah, Luke Kega came up there in the formation. He saw the formation, came up right off the end, and ended up getting in on the tackle along with Oberholzer. So nice play by the Blue Devils, recognizing the formation and getting it stopped.
Blue Devils are going to, and East Pennsboro, everybody together going to let the clock run out. So we are going to go into halftime with a tied score. 13-13 up on the board in this one. Thought it might be a close one. That's what it is on the F&M Trust Sports Network at midpennbroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Hey, insurance companies that want to spend a gazillion dollars on funny TV ads can go right ahead, as long as it's not my money paying for it. For seriously good auto, home, business, or life insurance, I go to Erie Insurance, where a great price is just the start. You get unbelievable service, independent agents you can really trust, and superior products. But don't just take it from me. Talk to your local Erie agent.
Call Antrim Insurance. In Greencastle, call 593-0500. In Waynesboro, call 762-4565.
It's home equity season at F&M Trust. The best time of year to rake in big savings with some of the best rates around on a home equity loan or line of credit. To rake in your savings during home equity season, visit fmtrustonline.com. Equal housing lender.
Brothers Pizza is a proud supporter of the Greencastle Blue Devils. Brothers Pizza offers a full menu, and breakfast is served 7 days a week. Don't forget Brothers Pizza for your next football party or special event. Our menu selection is great for football parties, birthdays, and other special occasions. Dine in, carry out, and delivery. 50 Pine Drive, Greencastle, next door to Comfort Inn. Phone 597-5322 or order online at mybrospizza.com.
Have heating or air conditioning needs? Look no further than Lecron's Comfort Solutions. We service all brands: heat pumps, humidifiers, system replacements, gas, oil, electric heat, and ductless systems. Lecron's Comfort Solutions is your authorized Trane dealer. Call Corey at 717-597-3768 for a free estimate. We are licensed and insured. Lecron's Comfort Solutions. Local company, local name. Serving Greencastle and all of Franklin County with professional service and installation.
Del Martin Incorporated, a full-service advertising agency, has been serving the tri-state area for 35 years. We specialize in screen printing and embroidered clothing. Del Martin Incorporated supplies a full range of brand-name uniforms for athletic, work, and medical applications, and a full line of advertising essentials. We have an in-house artist ready to put your ideas to work for you. T-shirts for schools, clubs, churches, and events. Del Martin Incorporated, 21 Sarah Susan Lane, Greencastle. Phone 717-597-5751 or online at delprint.com.
Streaming live with over 70 local sporting events a year, this is midpennbroadcasting.com.
That came early. Usually that's set to break in halftime, but hey, we'll start
I hit the wrong one. Engineering problem.
Okay, I understand how that works. I'm just happy you're the engineer, man.
I can't believe you knew that.
Greg Hoover, Mike Monadora back at halftime at the George R. Saxton Jr. Memorial Stadium. It is homecoming here for East Pennsboro, so we'll have an extended halftime for sure. Tonight's halftime show brought to you by Antrim Insurance, your local Erie insurance agent, serving Greencastle, Waynesboro, Chambersburg, Mercersburg, and surrounding areas. Antrim Insurance, 169 South Antrim Way, Greencastle, and 1685 East Main Street in Waynesboro. Well, both teams started out 3 and out for the Blue Devils, receiving the opening kickoff. It was a first down, but then a 3 and out for East Pennsboro. Greencastle did the same thing, another 3 and out, and they punted away. But in 3 plays the next time, East Pennsboro scored on a 58-yard pass play, 45-yard pass play, went 48 yards in total. The kick was blocked, and it was 6-0. Greencastle answered 8-yard pass play that resulted in a touchdown for the Blue Devils from Myers to Sprague, and the extra point was no good. 8 plays, 65 yards, 6-6. Then after a couple of first downs, a 3 and out again forced East Pennsboro to punt the ball. Greencastle came back. Graham had a big run in that series, and then a 10-yard pass from Myers to Peck, 80 yards in total on a 5-play drive, and the extra point was good, 13-6. But it wasn't over. Very next series, East Pennsboro went 72 yards on 3 plays. Big 45-yard pass play of Stallman to Trossel. Extra point also was good, 13-13. Greencastle drove deep into East Pennsboro territory, but fumbled the ball away. Their 4th giveaway of the season, actually their 5th turnover of the season in 5 games, but East Pennsboro couldn't do anything with the ball. Time ran out. This one is 13-13. And Mike, very simply, your impressions of half number 1.
Half number 1, as I said before we closed out the half, I think Greencastle's the better football team out here. I think East Pennsboro's doing a nice job schematically with some of their plays, drawing it up against some of the defenses they're seeing. And they've made some good throws and good catches to convert on those. So you got to have all those things in. But I think the play designs have been good. And I think Greencastle, if I had to pick between which team I'd take with me when I left, I'd take this Blue Devil team. But unfortunately, it's 13-13, and they got 2 big plays in this game. The nice thing about that is I always say, if you're running the ball down my throat and I'm in the locker room at halftime, I don't know how to fix that with the kids. But you got 2 big pass plays. I come out and say, "Hey, look, we cover. We get in a position to make a play. Even if we make tackles, we're okay. So don't let that get you down. We need to stop when we come out. We get the ball after, we stop it. They punt us. We'll score, and then it'll be lights out." So maybe he can convince everybody of that at halftime. And
no, I think that's a great way to say it, because both catches were great catches, but they could have easily been dropped, and they were great throws. They could have easily been underthrown or whatever. So you're right. It is not like Fegley is coming down at us and has 100 yards all over. What are we going to do? You don't have to worry about that. They are stopping Fegley. He's only run the ball 6 times. I doubt 10 yards total.
I agree with you, and that, I guess that would be my question in that locker room, even if I was part of that coaching staff. I know it's 13-13. I know that's the score of the game, and I know we're in it, but we're in this game because of 2 plays that could have, hit or miss. I mean, it's 50-50 on those plays. They hit those 2, but I'm sitting there going, we got a guy that rushes 25 times a game, has 800 yards, and we've given it to him 6 times in the first half. Have we outcoached ourselves? Have we taken ourselves out of, were we so afraid of this defensive front of Greencastle that we've taken ourselves out of it? And then I think East Pennsboro is so formation-oriented in their run game that when they jump into their run formation, Greencastle has been able to make the plays, which is confirming what East Pennsboro thought during the week.
Right.
So even if they make 3 plays in the first half, like they did, then East Pennsboro goes, "See, I told you during film we couldn't run against these guys. So we got to keep throwing. So, I mean, Greencastle doing a great job, I think, of allowing East Pennsboro to outcoach themselves. However, the couple plays that they've drawn up against the defenses they've seen have been incredibly successful. So somehow you got to, if you're playing chess out here, you got to counter that move right now at halftime. You got to draw it up at halftime to counter that move, to make sure you get what they're doing defense, or you're going to see it again in the second half.
Blue Devils again, and East Pennsboro tied at 13-13 in the passing department, and these are certainly unofficial because they're my stats. Myers is 4 of 9, and East Pennsboro is 5 of 8. East Pennsboro will have a big chunk of yardage in passing because they're both touchdowns came on at least 45-yard passes. So they'll have at least 100 yards passing. Ground game's not been that much. And the Blue Devils, again, they've scored on 2 pass plays also. Who would have thought that in this game, 4 touchdowns and all 4 in the air?
Yeah, with 2 rushing teams coming into this, with the yards that they've piled up rushing the football, you're absolutely right. Who thinks that it's going to be 2 throws?
Yep, and it is what it is at this point in time. 13-13. When we return, we will check out what is happening around the Mid-Penn with a scoreboard update on the F&M Trust Sports Network on MidPennBroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Days are shorter now, and South Central PA is showing off her best fall colors. That means home equity season at F&M Trust. The best time of year to rake in big savings with some of the best rates around on a home equity loan or line of credit. Access extra funds for anything you want. Consolidate high-interest bills, keep up with college expenses, or get whatever you need. It's up to you. To rake in your savings during home equity season, visit any F&M Trust office or fmtrustonline.com. Restrictions apply. Equal housing lender.
Football season is here, and Klein Tours has your ticket and bus transportation to NFL action. We have trips to all Baltimore Ravens home games. Join Klein Tours as we travel to Miami to watch the Ravens play the Dolphins December 6th through 9th. We have your ticket and transportation to see the Washington Redskins. Trips to New York City, Atlantic City, multi-day tours, and more. Klein Tours, the Tri-State's #1 tour and travel agency. Visit us online at kleintours.com or phone 717-597-5997.
There's nothing like being at the game. The excitement, the fun, the food, and all the waste. Whether it's popcorn boxes, hot dog wrappers, or this soda cup. Big games generate tons of waste. That's why Waste Management is helping stadiums and businesses reduce waste altogether through recycling and organic composting. To learn more, talk to your local Waste Management representative or visit thinkgreen.com.
Every day, Fast Signs helps businesses like yours with their visual communications. We ask the right questions, recommend smart solutions, and help you build your business. Our knowledgeable consultants uncover your communication challenges and provide visible solutions. At Fast Signs, we're innovators, planners, and designers. We're more than fast, more than signs, and we're more than ready to help. Contact Fast Signs today.
Visit www.fastsigns.com or visit us at our Greencastle and York locations.
Chalk Talk, the only program dedicated exclusively to Franklin County High School football, is on MidPennBroadcasting.com. Join Gary Klein and Mike Montadoro every Thursday night at 7:30, streaming live from John Allison Public House, 401 East Baltimore Street in Greencastle. We preview each week's upcoming games and talk with the players, coaches, and reporters. You're invited to join the conversation. Email us your questions and comments during the show. Chalk Talk on MidPennBroadcasting.com. You're listening to Blue Devils Football with Greg Hoover
and Mike Montadoro
on MidPennBroadcasting.com.
Welcome back. We are at the half on the Antrim Insurance halftime show. Greg Hoover, Mike Montadoro. And, you know, a little surprise, Mike, and I don't mean to embarrass you, but I just found out as they're doing the homecoming activities here at East Pennsboro, and they'll do them at Greencastle next week. You were the 1989 Penn Hills homecoming king. that didn't happen?
That did not happen.
Okay.
That did not happen. I appreciate you saying that, though. I mean, we could claim it. I could write a resume like George O'Leary.
Yes.
And put some of those things in there if you'd like.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure that really gets you too far in life, but and really, I'm not, you know, unless you're from Penn Hills, no one's listening can really say that you weren't.
Exactly right. You know, interesting you say that, though. I work at Shippensburg, and the one of the ladies that works down the hall from me is also a Penn Hills graduate.
Really? That's pretty interesting.
Which is pretty interesting that we both end up in Shippensburg.
Yes.
And interesting.
Just interesting.
It's interesting to me.
It's interesting. You know what's interesting to me? The scoreboard.
The scoreboard is incredibly interesting, and I know you're James Buchanan up on Big Spring, 21-0 at this point.
Really?
Really. And really, what gets more interesting is Waynesboro's beating Northern 21-3, and Mechanicsburg has now flipped it 10-7 at Shippensburg.
I'm not so sure that I think the Waynesboro. You know they can score. They even against Cedar Cliff. I mean, when they got clubbed 60-20, but they put 20 up against Cedar Cliff. Now maybe that was later in the game.
Right.
They can score. It's obviously can they stop anybody? And Northern not that strong this year. So that I don't know if that surprised me, but I tell you what, the Big Spring game does.
The Big Spring game, I agree, is incredibly surprising. I didn't think JB would jump up 21-0 against Big Spring. And you're right about the Waynesboro score. I mean, they have scored some points this year. Northern's down. And we figured in the preseason that Waynesboro would win 4 games, maybe 5. They might win 5 and be a 5-5 football team. We didn't expect them to lose to Biglerville.
No, that was one we weren't anticipating.
That's one. And we thought, okay, well, maybe they can get, we thought maybe they would get Biglerville. They could get maybe Big Spring, and maybe they get JB and Biglerville. And so, that's 3. And then can you find that 4th one along the way? But if they get Northern, then you start looking at, okay, well, maybe they got Kennerdale week 1, then they got Northern. And now if they can get Big Spring or JB, and if they can be competitive at Shippensburg,
right?
They can maybe find 5 wins on their schedule.
Are you surprised? And you said you work at Shippensburg, and the coaching staff and everything. Are you surprised by? I'm going to say their demise because of lack of a better word. I thought they would be a little better than they have been presenting.
I think here's what I'm not surprised by. I think that when you lose the group of kids, the group of young men that they lost to graduation, when you lose basically 3 years of leadership, because those kids were leaders on that team for 3 years. Even when they were underclassmen, they were the Seth Fries of the group. They were the leaders of that group. When you lose that, one of the things that you can never replace, or it's so hard to find, is leadership. And when you don't have it, coaches can't be leaders.
No,
they can't be. They can do all they want, but you need kids to step up and be leaders of a team. And right now, that team is just devoid of leaders. And until they find some kids, whether it be younger kids, older, whoever it is, to step in and kind of put things on their back.
Right.
The Tyler Gustafson kid, their quarterback, is a sophomore this year, and just too young right now. And when you play, everyone thinks the quarterback's the leader, but a lot of times when you're learning the position, it's hard to be the leader. You fall into that as a junior, as a senior, because now you know what's going on. But as you're learning as you go, that's a hard thing to ask the quarterback to do that as well. So I think I think they have some leaders. They're not of the age yet to take over, and that's just, I think, a huge. I don't care what anybody says, the leadership thing, when that's missing, it's hard to get things going in the right direction.
Well, there's no doubt that Eric Faust has done an excellent job with the program up there. They have been consistently winning. It's like Greencastle here with Coach Taninis. They had 2 5-5 years, and that may have been the same thing, where the maturity level now of the senior class has come together with the leaders and everything, and it's turned the program around. Not that they were bad last year by any stretch of the imagination, but when you get used to winning, 5-5 isn't really where what you think it is. I mean, I want you to listen to this a minute. 2005, we're going to go from there and go the whole way up for Greencastle. They were 6-4, 2006 7-4, 2007 8-3, 2008 10-2, 2009 7-3, 2010 11-1, and 2011 8-3. That's some powerful football in those years. Now, and then they dropped 2 5-5. They regrouped. This year, who knows?
The sky's the limit.
Sky's the limit this year. So,
and I agree with you. And we talked about that on Chalk Talk last night. And one of the things that we praised Coach Taninis and the staff about was both of those teams the last 2 years were 2-5 at one point, and able to. And it doesn't matter what the schedule looks like, but you're 2-5, and you could just go through the motions. But those guys were able to rally and play good football the last 3 weeks and get themselves into a 5-5. If they don't lose that overtime game in Gettysburg, they're a playoff team last year.
Yes, they would have been. That was the heartbreaker. That was the one.
And when you look at that, you're like, well, that's a playoff team last year if they don't lose that overtime heartbreaker in Gettysburg. So even, and that's what we were talking about, the difference between being good coaches and bad coaches. What difference do you make? And I think what difference you make is when you have a solid coaching staff, you turn a 2-5 season into a 5-5 season, not a 2-8.
Yeah, now don't get me wrong. It's it's much easier to coach a 10-0 team.
I agree.
But it's turning. But you have to build that 10-0 team. The coach staff played a part in that. It's not like it just happened. But at the same time, you take a team that's 3-2-5 and you turn them around. And again, if you would have been there, I think at that Gettysburg game, that might have been the little plug that we needed. But no, you're off at some wedding somewhere.
Right, you're absolutely right. And I wanted to be there for that one. And
I know you did.
That's a terrible one that we missed. And as you said, let that one get away and could have been a playoff year. But those are the things that a good coaching staff can do and get you. When you have a team that maybe isn't as good as what you hoped it would be, they don't let them fall down to 2-2 and whatever. And they've done a great job with that. So even on their down years, they've been able to manage a 5-5 record and just kind of keep this going. And you know what? And it is easy to coach teams that are 10-0, but it's all those little things that you do that get you to 10-0 when you have talent.
Right.
Just because you have talent doesn't mean you're going to win.
Nope. No, that's for sure. That's for sure. Well, about 2 minutes left up on the halftime clock, and we did have an extended halftime. Do want to run down real quick. Mid-Penn Commonwealth games tonight. Cumberland Valley at CD East should be going. Mifflin County's at Carlisle. State College, as we mentioned, at Chambersburg. Central Dauphin is at Harrisburg tomorrow at 1 p.m. I mean, if you really want to see a pretty good football game, it might be worth a trip to Harrisburg to see that one. In the Keystone Division, Cedar Cliff at Lower Dauphin. That should be a next interesting ball game. Hershey at Bishop McDevitt. That may not be an interesting ball game, and it might be good for the Blue Devils. Bishop McDevitt will. I wouldn't want to be Hershey playing Bishop McDevitt now anyway. Bishop McDevitt's so good, so they could get banged up coming into the Greencastle game. I don't know. Susquehanna Township at Redland, and again, Redland having an excellent season. In the Capital Division, Camp Hill on a roll. They're undefeated too. They're at Milton Hershey tonight. Middletown at West Perry, Still High at Palmyra, and Trinity is at Bowling Springs to round out the league. We come back, we'll have the second half kickoff, half number 2 on its way. 13-13 here in East Pennsboro. Don't go away. We'll be right back on the F&M Trust Sports Network on MidPennBroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Days are shorter now, and South Central PA is showing off her best fall colors. That means home equity season at F&M Trust. The best time of year to rake in big savings with some of the best rates around on a home equity loan or line of credit. Access extra funds for anything you want. Consolidate high-interest bills, keep up with college expenses, or get whatever you need. It's up to you. To rake in your savings during home equity season, visit any F&M Trust office or fmtrustonline.com. Restrictions apply. Equal housing lender.
When you're ready to break away from the routine and step into a hassle-free world of fun and adventure, Klein Tours is the partner you need to make fantasy a reality. For more than 20 years, Klein Tours Incorporated has taken care of all the details for people traveling from the 4-state region of South Central Pennsylvania, Western Maryland, the Eastern Panhandle of West Virginia, and Winchester, Virginia area. Whether you're looking for a 1- or 2-day tour to the bright lights of New York City or the fun and excitement of Atlantic City, we've got you covered. And we offer special bonus packages so you can get more for your hard-earned dollar. Klein Tours is not only your source for major sports events and tickets to Broadway shows, we also offer multi-day air trips to destinations like Las Vegas and New Orleans. Subscribe to our newsletter for travel updates, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter. Our online travel center features real-time availability and purchasing is easy. Tours can also be reserved by phone at 717-597-5997.
Chalk Talk, the only program dedicated exclusively to Franklin County High School football, is on MidPennBroadcasting.com. Join Gary Klein and Mike Montadoro every Thursday night at 7:30, streaming live from John Allison Public House, 401 East Baltimore Street in Greencastle. We preview each week's upcoming games and talk with the players, coaches, and reporters. You're invited to join the conversation. Email us your questions and comments during the show. Chalk Talk on MidPennBroadcasting.com.
Live and local. This is MidPennBroadcasting.com.
Speaking of MidPennBroadcasting.com, don't forget you got a chance to win 2 tickets and a bus transportation from Klein Stores to the Philadelphia Eagles at Washington Redskin game Saturday, December 20th at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. All you got to do is register at midpenbroadcasting.com or on our mobile website on your phone. Click to register to win. Enter the phrase or word, the winner to be announced Friday, October 31st at halftime of our final regular season game. And we need to come up with a phrase for tonight so that our listeners can plug that in with a chance to win.
I thought we had one earlier.
We did. What was it? I'm sorry, I missed that.
Was it cold pork?
Oh, cold pulled pork.
Cold pulled pork.
Cold pulled pork. Now, there's a story behind it, of course. It's not a very pleasant story, and I don't want to repeat it. But cold pulled pork is the phrase for this one. That was good, guys. I forgot about that.
Well, it happens when you go to the concession stand at 5:30 and it's a 7 o'clock game. Sometimes
the food isn't warm. Okay, you make a valid point. The pork gets cold, so thus it becomes cold pulled pork. East Pennsboro will receive the second half kickoff from the Blue Devils. The Blue Devils will defend the west goal to start quarter number 3. East Pennsboro will move right to left on your computer screen, and the second half should be a dandy. Here we go, Blue Devils. Now, will the second half do what it normally does, Mike? Favor of the Blue Devils.
And that's what I'm sure they talked about in the locker room. You notice they were in there pretty long tonight. It looks like Graham is not going to play. Tyler Graham, he's got ice on his shoulder. It looks like he's not dressed for the second half. So, going to need some things out of Burnett now in the second half.
With 2 of the running backs, remember, too, that Derek Measle is injured in last week's game. So now there's 2 other running backs out. To kick off will be Kurt Hansen. Line drive shot again. Scooped up, dropped by Eric Trossel. Trossel comes straight up the middle. Oh, man, did he get clubbed? And down he go. A bunch of people going down. He did get hit hard.
There were a lot of hits out there. There were a lot of guys that got clocked on that kick return. Number 73 for the Blue Devils got drilled. He was able to get up and try to get himself back into the play, but wow.
Well, 25-yard line is the place. The ball is set here for the first offensive series for East Pennsboro. East Pennsboro had the ball 5 times in the first half, as did Greencastle. Greencastle punted away twice, fumbled away once, and scored twice. Someone was in motion.
They all moved.
Yep. Everybody moved on that side. Mike, here's an interesting statistic for you. East Pennsboro in the first half had 4 penalties for 30 yards. Blue Devils, 1 for 5 yards.
That is an interesting statistic. We haven't seen that in a long time, and now you jinxed it.
Oh, no, I didn't. You got to be transparent here and let people know what's going on.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I mean, Greencastle coming in is averaging 69 yards a game in penalties and 7.5 penalties per game. From the shotgun, quick outlie here to the outback, the running back here, and he spins moves out of his way. That is Snedeker, and Snedeker gets a good bit of yardage back on that one play.
Yeah, they just kind of run the little flare pass out of the backfield, and he gets wide on it, makes a bunch of guys miss, twists and turns, and he becomes a little bit elusive out there.
So they get 5 and 8, 13 on that pass play, and they have first down on the marker over there, but it's got to be second down.
Second down and 3.
Yeah. This is where things get complicated. If he doesn't change that, then everybody gets confused. Going to come this way with the football on the sweep. Trying to see who that is. It is a first down. That is Fagley. Fagley, who had 6 carries in the first half. That's his biggest gain of the ball game here, as they just sort of moved everybody to the right and let him go left.
Ran him into the short side of the field, and you just don't want to see East Pennsboro get a bunch of momentum here.
No, certainly don't. Blue Devils on defense here to start the second half. This one billed as the game of the week by everybody, and it's turned into that. 3 receivers, trips to the right, no one to the left. In motion comes one of the runners to the near side now. Man in the backfield. They'll pass out here, and short pass falls incomplete.
Incomplete pass he throws. You see Greencastle confused on that. guy goes in motion, and Votrel's trying to play outside linebacker up there or doing some kind of spy move, and he didn't go in motion, but luckily the guy came back for him. So
Made it work.
So it worked. So he didn't have to go, and they said, no, you got to get up there, Votrel.
They'll split a receiver to the right side and one to the near side. They will work the sidecar offense two, one on each side, and they'll send in motion. This time, Snedeker looking to pass. Down the middle, wide open, tight end. This one's going to go for a good many yards. That is Dunkelberger, and Dunkelberger with a touchdown from about the 42-yard line.
And this is what we talked about in the pregame, and you just it's tough because you can't match up. And I know the Blue Devils, they're like a closer in baseball. They live and die with the fastball, but when teams spread you out like this, you can't put a linebacker out there and expect them to play the run and the pass.
For Dunkelberger, his 7th catch of the year, he had 103 yards coming in. They're going to do the extra point here with Steyan doing the kicking. Snap is down, kick is up, it is good. And East Pennsboro, as they did in the first half, have done so here in the second half, opened up a lead, 10:50, only a minute and 10 seconds off the clock. They lead this in 2013 on the F&M Trust Sports Network on midpennbroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
There's nothing like being at the game. The excitement, the fun, the food, and all the waste. Whether it's popcorn boxes, hot dog wrappers, or this soda cup. Big games generate tons of waste. That's why Waste Management is helping stadiums and businesses reduce waste altogether through recycling and organic composting. To learn more, talk to your local Waste Management representative or visit thinkgreen.com.
You're listening to Blue Devils Football with Greg Hoover and Mike Montadoro on midpennbroadcasting.com.
Stein to kick off after the touchdown. He does just what Greencastle does. Line drive, and Blue Devils cover it at the 30-yard line. 42-yard pass play from the quarterback Stallman, his 3rd of the night, to this time the tight end Matt Dunkelberger. And it was a 75-yard drive that covered just 3 plays. The extra point is good, and the lead 20-13. That was a wow moment there, Mike. That one hurt.
That did hurt. They're scoring too easily.
Yes. Greencastle from their own 25. That is where East Pennsboro started. The Blue Devils try to go up the middle with the football. And not many yards. I believe Sprague on the ball carrier that time, but 2-yard pickup for Sam.
Greencastle going to try to you got to rally your troops here. This is a big drive in this game for you. It seems early in the third quarter to be talking like that, but this is a huge drive that you've got to at least rattle up a couple first downs. You can't let East Pennsboro get momentum and keep it.
2 in the backfield. Spence straight back to pass. Thrown down here for Hansen. Overthrows his intended receiver. Covered, pretty well covered. He was double teamed coming down there. The main defender was Kyle Purnell for East Penn.
Makes a 3rd down. Yeah, he just tried to run that fade route down that side. It was a good throw by Myers, actually, to overthrow it. You want to be long on that pass, never short on it.
Correct. Let's see what the play is this time. Hansen goes out to the far side of the field. Slot is in the left side, too. Myers going to look to pass. 3-step drop, fires out here, completes the pass to Hines. Hines, nice little move, picks up the 1st down on that play.
Yeah, nice play. That was a nice play. Sam Sprague, I thought was going to get one there, but he apparently got his head in front. It was a great block by Sammy to get the 1st down.
So a big play for the Blue Devils. Send the team up to the line of scrimmage. Sprague will come to the near side as they work from the center of the field. And the handoff to Hines again. Hines trying to go up through the middle. Not a lot of room or space to run. Picks up 1 yard on the play.
Hines moving his feet. We know that about him, so he'll break one of those and go pretty far.
Blue Devils, that's set up their second touchdown when Votrel, and I believe he got hurt that play too, wasn't it? Was that the play he got hurt? And he's out for the ball game. Sprague to this side. Hines in the backfield along with Votrel. Excuse me, Graham's the one who got hurt.
Graham.
Straight back to pass. Completes the pass to Hanson. Hanson dives forward and gets the first down.
He gets the first down. The one thing I do like about Spencer Myers, the quarterback, is he's a big, tall guy, and he does stand in that pocket. He's not, he's not a runner. He's not going to get you on the edge and beat you that way, but he stands in there and he takes hits. He doesn't shy away from the contact.
6'4", 175-pound junior, and you're right. He drops in that pocket and he stays there, and he does a great job in the pocket. Hanson to our side, and there is receiver to the far side. Work from the left hash, moving left to right. Sprague in motion, but they're going to give it to Votrel. Votrel is smashed for a loss in the backfield. You don't hear that very often.
No, you don't. They ran that play earlier in the first half for great success. They ran the little lead play behind the motion. They came out this time and ran it behind the motion, but East Pennsboro up to the task. I've always wanted to say that.
Up to the task.
I don't even know what it means.
But, hey, they were. 2nd and 12. Clock at 8:14, quarter number 3. East Pennsboro with a 7-point lead, 20-13. Pass complete to Sprague. Sprague, fumbled the ball, recovered by East Pennsboro.
Yeah, Sprague just trying to make a play. He's got the ball tucked in there. He's trying to make a play, get up the field. It gets swatted from behind or out of his hand and loses control of it. And East Pennsboro is there to pick it off. So,
second turnover of the night for the Blue Devils. None for East Pennsboro. And East Penn will take over the ball at the 41-yard line in their own territory. So now the defense really has to come through.
Yeah, you're going to have to get a stop. You got Votrel over here again. He was the guy last time responsible for the tight end.
They have everybody to the far side. Now they'll bring one on this side. And quarterback going to the right. Fires and has an open man, but he is hit right away, but it's not before they get the first down.
Right, they're playing Greencastle, as you can see on the film, they're playing strict man coverage. When the receiver from the far side motions to this side, the corner's running across the field with them, and they're just clearing out a zone and then bringing someone back into it and throwing the ball to them.
East Pennsboro, 1st and 10. It is Fegley at the fullback position. East Pennsboro takes the timeout, Mike, at 7:38. Evidently, Coach Studer didn't like something he saw on the alignment there. But, it's interesting. We worried about the running game of East Pennsboro, and it's been the passing game that has hurt us bad so far.
Yeah, it's just been the passing game, and give Studer and his staff credit for drawing up some things that seem to really be working against the looks they're getting. And they're consistently getting those looks, so they're able to kind of draw it up and see what they get going. But you're absolutely right. Now, this was a big series here. Unfortunately, you get the fumble, but Greencastle needed to get down the field and score. So at some point, they've got to get a stop. If they don't get a stop on this drive, I think it's going to be tough to catch up.
Well, we are one of those teams that do not score in a hurry. And, you have those teams that East Pennsboro can score in a hurry. We're not. We're going to take the ball and move it 40, 50, 60 yards in about 10 plays and take 5-6 minutes off the clock. Now, there's still plenty of time. 7:38, 2013. Blue Devils trail East Pennsboro here in the third quarter.
But you feel it slipping.
You do a little bit. I have to agree. They need something to bring it back. Fegley in the backfield by himself. 2 receivers to the left. They're going to pitch this way, and he's going to come to the near side of the field. Hanson can't get him, and finally knocked out of bounds, but not until he picks up the first down. That's probably some of the running that they're used to seeing out of him.
Right, just get everybody out in front of him. Student body left. They just toss toss it to them. They got receivers out there, corners out there blocking receivers.
Everybody was out there.
Everybody's out there, and he's going to, he's a good enough kid. Obviously, he's a good enough running back to pick you up 10 on the outside.
They have 8 first downs in the contest. Greencastle, by the way, with 11. The drives have been longer. Going to give it to Fegley. He is hit by Bobby Ryder and taken down by Bobby Ryder right away.
Yeah, Bobby comes right through there. Grabs him up, wraps him up, throws him to the ground. Got a big ooh out of the crowd.
Yes, it did. Play that they needed. Third down and short yardage now, as he did not get the first down last time. I thought that he had.
Well, it's hard to see when you have these fields with the numbers these numbers are kind of faded, and they're small numbers out there.
Well, it is. Not like back home.
Back home with the good lights and the field. They do have nice lighting.
They do have
here.
nice lights. And great stands, great place. Stallman under center. In motion comes the one man, but they're going to give it to 22, Fegley. Fegley just gets through the line that time and enough for the first down. He was just determined.
They just ran the power with Fegley, and he got himself going and feet moving and pushed it a little bit, and he picks up the first down. And as we said, you feel it slipping. You feel the momentum slipping, and it's like you're holding on to a rope as long as you can, but the rope's pulling away from you.
25-yard line, the ball is situated. 1st and 10 for East Pennsboro. They're in Greencastle territory, moving right to left in their black home jerseys, all black. Blue Devils in the away whites here. They are going to send a wide out to the far side of the field, and they'll work out of the I formation. That wide out comes to the near side in motion. Fumble on the play, but recovered by East Pennsboro. Their first fumble, and the recovery goes to them. So it is a big play for the Blue Devils. Gets them about 4 yards back.
That would have been nice to pick that up, though, and get the momentum back on your side a little bit. Only down 1 score. That extra point came out. That could be huge in this game as well.
Well, both teams missed extra points on the first score, and no one's tried to even up the board, so to speak, with 2-point plays. East Penn will send a receiver wide out. That is Stepanian. And now in motion will go Trossel. And they're all going to the right. Looking to pass. Heavy pressure from Bray Peck. And he fires it downfield, but it's going to be way out of bounds and incomplete.
Bray Peck doing a nice job on the pressure tonight. And once he gets out on the run, this guy, he does a nice job throwing the ball out of bounds to get himself out of trouble over there.
I would tell you, for one, I would not want to see Bray Peck running at me as hard as he does and as big as he is. So it is a third down situation, a huge third down situation. Is this 4 down territory, Mike?
I think it's 4 down territory for East Pennsboro for sure. I mean, you've been giving them starting field position on the 30 all night, so.
Yeah.
It's not.
Fegley goes out. Dennis will go to the outside. Passing situation, 4 on the right. You know they're going to go to the wide side here. Back, looking, fake, fade pattern, going for the post. Hanson Garden. Hanson with the. He caught it.
Yep.
Hanson with the interception. Took me a while because, you know what threw me off? Dennis got up and ran into the end zone. I thought he got the ball.
They both went down with it. They got it, and then Hanson came out with the football. But I, as much as you love to see them not score there, I'm not all that excited about that interception, Greg.
Because it's at the 1 yard line.
Because it's
However, I don't think you had much choice in the matter.
No, but yeah, I agree. You don't have much choice because you don't know what's going to happen on 4th down. So you gotta catch that ball, keep it out of their hands. But man, it puts you down to 2. So that's the first pick of the year for the Blue Devils.
It is. We said that they hadn't come up with one, but now they got to go 98 yards. And safety.
That's a fumble.
Oh, no.
That's a fumble. East Pennsboro has the ball. I can't even tell you who it was down there because we got a terrible vantage point. But East Pennsboro gets a fumble down at the 1.
Wow. Wow, the third fumble of the ball game. The Blue Devils have given up at 1 yard after just coming up with the INT. Wow. So you probably felt the air go out of Greencastle, Antrim, particularly from this side of the field. They're going to give it to Fegley. Fegley will get his first touchdown of the night. And from 1 yard out, one play, 1 yard for the touchdown. And now they have doubled the Blue Devils' output, 26-13, and a chance to make it a 14-point game. Extra point field goal brought to you by RE/MAX Premier Executives of State Line. Lowest Bear agent phone 597-2777. Extra point, Olsenstein. Snap is down, kick is up. It is good. 4:59 up on the scoreboard in the third quarter. 27-13, East Pennsboro on top on the F&M Trust Sports Network and MidPennBroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Days are shorter now, and South Central PA is showing off her best fall colors. That means home equity season at F&M Trust. The best time of year to rake in big savings with some of the best rates around on a home equity loan or line of credit. Access extra funds for anything you want. Consolidate high-interest bills, keep up with college expenses, or get whatever you need. It's up to you. To rake in your savings during home equity season, visit any F&M Trust office or fmtrustonline.com. Restrictions apply. Equal housing lender.
Streaming live with over 70 local sporting events a year, this is MidPennBroadcasting.com.
Carry it.
Little rocky music. That's what the Blue Devils need. A little rocky attitude right now. Ball squib kicked up short, taken up, and still moving. As long as they hold on to the ball, they've had that problem here. Wow, that's a pile-up. I think all 20, except for the kicker, 21 people involved in that. And the ball will spot at the Blue Devil 40-yard line. So 1st and 10 for them.
So you got 4:51 to go in the third quarter. If you're the Blue Devils, you don't need to panic.
No, you don't.
You don't need to panic. You can still take all the time you need to get a touchdown, but you got to score. You got to get points.
Got to get points on the board. Jared Staliber wide to the outside of the field, the far side. Looking to pass and does. Completes to Bray Peck coming out of this tight end position. He gets about 9 yards on it to the 49-yard line will be the spot inside their territory. And that's a first down, Blue Devils.
First down for the Blue Devils. Bray Peck, nice throw. Myers in his shotgun, standing tall, looking at his receiver.
Myers has started his 4 or 5 here in the second half. 4 straight passes complete. ISO back in the backfield. A little misdirection. Sprague gets it. Sprague has some running room. Here he goes. He's off on his own. He's down to the 20, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Blue Devils.
Blue
on the
Devils
counter crisscross.
Jump right back in it on the counter crisscross to make it exciting.
They certainly do.
Bring it back in here. Woo!
Gotta like that.
You gotta love that. Sam Sprague turns on the Jets, runs the counter crisscross, gets the crease, splits the 2 defensive backs, and takes off for pay dirt. Great job by the Blue Devils.
Yes.
Here we go. We're back in it, Greg.
All of a sudden, the down faces have turned to smiling faces. Unfortunately, even our cameraman is smiling over there. Snap is down, kick is up. All of a sudden, the Blue Devils didn't take long to get back on. As a matter of fact, let's see, it took 21 from 59. That's not long. 30 seconds, and they're back in the ball game on the F&M Trust Sports Network on MidPennBroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Football season is here, and Klein Tours has your ticket and bus transportation to NFL action. We have trips to all Baltimore Ravens home games. Join Klein Tours as we travel to Miami to watch the Ravens play the Dolphins December 6th through 9th. We have your ticket and transportation to see the Washington Redskins. Trips to New York City, Atlantic City, multi-day tours, and more. Klein Tours, the Tri-State's #1 tour and travel agency. Visit us online at kleintours.com or phone 717-597-5997.
This is Greencastle Antrim Blue Devils football on MidPennBroadcasting.com.
That extra point brought to you by RE/MAX Premier Executives of State Line, Lowes Bear agent 597-2777. Kickoff goes down and rolling around at the 20 to 15-yard line and finally goes out of bounds, so that'll be a penalty against the Blue Devils. But it looked like it was floated around there a little bit too long. 49-yard run for Sprague. That's his second touchdown of the night. 2 plays, 60 yards on the drive for the Blue Devil. The extra point from Hansen is good, 27-20. Hopefully he didn't go anywhere. And like saying, hey, this is over, I'm going to turn it off, because it's not over now.
It is not over now.
Now here's where it comes in handy. The defense has to make some stops here.
Yeah, defense has got to get a stop. They're not getting too many stops in Shippensburg, as Mechanicsburg took a 31-7 lead in that game.
And for a moment there, Shippensburg was on top.
7-3.
Well, let's see what happens here. Offensive set for East Pennsboro from the 35-yard line. Looking to pass, and incomplete. Overthrown his intended receiver, Sneddecker, and it is an incomplete pass.
Yep, incomplete. That ball was tipped up in the air just a little bit higher. Maybe you get a pick six off of that as it was tipped up as Votral was coming down from behind. So trying to get on the edge here. And this is an interesting series for me to watch and see what East Pennsboro does here to kind of stop the momentum Greencastle has. I'm not sure that was the play to do it on.
Didn't appear to be. Fegley.
Sounds hurt.
And Fegley seems to be a full house in the backfield. They'll bring in motion. This is the running set. And they're going to give it to Fegley. Straight up the middle and met by the Greencastle line and only about a yard on the play.
Yep.
Even I know the running sets now.
Right, and you're exactly right. So the Blue Devils, they motion the guy this way to move out the linebacker. So if Fegley hits it, he can go. But they can't move Bobby Ryder inside.
He's not going in motion with them.
No, he's not leaving. The one thing I can tell you is the defensive linemen aren't going anywhere.
Nope. Nor should they. 3rd down and 7. 3:46 here on the scoreboard in quarter number 3, 27-20. 4 receivers to the wide side of the field. Going back the pass to Stallman. Stallman's decided he's going to run, and he's going to get the first down as he goes out of bounds. He just cleared everybody out, and there's no one there to stop him.
No one there. You don't have anybody coming off the edge. No one. When you go out 5 wide and you spread everybody across the field, the contain guy is the down lineman, and he can't get off that block to contain, and so he gets the edge, and that's a killer that's a backbreaker right there because they had him. They had him.
They did. They had a 3rd down. They stop him there. They have to punt away. Getting close to the midfield stripe. They're at the 47-yard line right now. First and a 4 set of downs. Going to go the Wildcat, Mike. And certainly they're just going to let Dennis run. And Dennis gets tripped up behind the line of scrimmage and brought down by the Blue Devils. First man to make the hit. Let me go to my roster. And that was a great defensive play by the Blue Devils. They were able to stop that. That was Matt Oberholzer, by the way. 2nd and 9, excuse me.
Yeah, Dennis looks like he's a little bit banged up. His feet there, he limped off the field the other side. So, again, plenty of time in this game. 2:50 to go in the 3rd quarter. Blue Devils trail by 7.
2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side, 1 in the backfield. They'll send in motion Dunkelberger. And rolling to the right is Stallman. Stallman looking to throw, being heavily chased by 4. Can he get rid of it in time? No. He doesn't get a pass. East Pennsboro wants a late hit, but it wasn't. And out of bounds somewhere near the 45-yard line.
Yeah, put it right on the line, so he lost about 2 on the play. Brings up a 3rd and 12. So the Blue Devils did a nice job of stringing it out. I'll tell you, Votral did a really nice job here. He went across the field in motion. They tried to run that wheel route they ran earlier against Peck down here for the big gain, and Votral hit the kid. And you're allowed to hit him in high school football all the way down the field until the ball's in the air.
Right.
So Votral did a nice job of hitting him and staying with him.
Well, we are on the Blue Devils side, as you can imagine, and you hear the cry of defense. 4 on the right and 1 to the 4 on the left, 1 on the right, out of the shotgun. Looking to pass, throws, and knocked down by the Blue Devils. And a great play that time by Austin Smith, I believe. Or was it? Anthony Dunnigan. I'm not sure who got their
I
hand
think it
up.
might have been Dunnigan who knocked it down.
So now they're going to get that 4th down punt situation.
Let's make sure you catch the ball.
Kopp standing at the 35-yard line. Little pressure from the Blue Devils. Nice high punt. He's a pretty decent high school punter. And ball is down at the 21-yard line, taken by Hansen. So the Blue Devils, a long way to go, but plenty of time to get there. They'll take over possession of the football here in this one. Hey, we didn't mention it at halftime, and I wanted to. The first district power ratings are out, and East Pennsboro coming in at number 7, and Greencastle at number 9 on this one, as Bishop McDevitt leads everybody. Redland is 2nd, Garden Spot 3rd, and Conrad Weiser 4th, and they're all undefeated. Manheim Central and Lampeter Strasburg 5th and 6th, 3 and 1. They're going to give it on the end around to Hines. Hines, a little running room, thrown down hard, but not after he picks up 8 yards on the play.
Blue Devils kind of taking over a little bit here. It looks like they got a little extra step in that maybe East Penn doesn't have right now, and they're wearing them down.
Well, you hope that is the case. And again, we sometimes count on that the second half is a Greencastle half. Temperature dropping to 62 degrees. It's just a perfect night for football here in Enola.
Or almost anything.
True. If it wasn't football, it'd still be a wonderful night. Long snap count from Myers. ISO back gets the call. The fullback hit right away and goes nowhere. I would assume that is Andrew Votrel. It is.
Somebody's on the ground there, bouncing up, number 53.
That is Morgan Bush, the center.
They did give him the first down. Wow.
Ooh. Okay.
I'm not sure he made it to the line of scrimmage.
I didn't think he did.
But yet he got there, and so here we go. Another new set of downs for the Blue Devils to rally around here.
The big game of the week, it is here, and both teams have not disappointed. When you think the knockout punch is there, it comes back. There's an encroachment penalty. Myers doing the job of trying to bring him off sides, and he does.
Take a cheap 5 yards anytime you can get it.
Oh, you do.
23 seconds to go in this quarter. They don't have to run a play.
Myers coming on, and I don't even know if they want to, if they will, Mike. As the clock down to 10, I think they can get one off, but they're going to have to hurry a little bit. From the shotgun. Got it. This last play of the quarter. Fakes, throws down here for Peck, and overthrows Peck after the fake, and then Spencer got hit hard at that point in time.
Yeah, and listen, Peck is a great tight end. He does a lot of things, but if you're trying to run the hitch and go with Peck, and that's what happened. He was running the fake pump, the hitch and go, and Spencer got drilled when he let go of the ball. But Peck's not your speed demon for the hitch and go. It takes too long for him to run that route.
Takes for him too long to hitch and then to go.
Yeah, to hitch and to go.
Fourth quarter is coming upon us here. It's a ball game, 27-7. East Pennsboro up by 7 on the F&M Trust Network on MidPennSportsBroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
It's home equity season at F&M Trust. The best time of year to rake in big savings with some of the best rates around on a home equity loan or line of credit. To rake in your savings during home equity season, visit fmtrustonline.com. Equal housing lender.
There's nothing like being at the game. The excitement, the fun, the food, and all the waste. Whether it's popcorn boxes, hot dog wrappers, or this soda cup. Big games generate tons of waste. That's why Waste Management is helping stadiums and businesses reduce waste altogether through recycling and organic composting. To learn more, talk to your local waste management representative or visit thinkgreen.com.
Myers comes up under center. ISO back in the backfield. Double wing, and they're going to get that 5 yards back. Yep, procedure against the Blue Devils. Just their third penalty of the ball game. When they were 1st and 5, now they're 2nd and 10. As both teams exchange penalties there. Don't forget, next week, homecoming for the Blue Devils. Hershey stepping out of the Mid-Penn Conference of the Colonial Conference, taking on Hershey. Always a good game when The Trojans come to town.
Sweetest place on earth.
It is. Oh, there's another one. Unbelievable. 2 back-to-back. So now the Blue Devils with 4 flags on the night, 1 on a kickoff, which is heading toward their average.
You listen. I don't need transparency in my life. I don't need to be transparent. You want to be transparent in the first half.
Okay.
Tell all the people about it.
All right. Myers will work out of the gun. Straight back in the pocket. Little screen play. Oh, that's got to be incomplete.
Yeah.
That was covered well by Vochel. Didn't really have a chance to catch and run on that one.
No chance on it. And if he would have been able to kind of get his hands and catch it, he could have run a long way, but played well by East Pennsboro.
3rd down and 15 facing the Blue Devils.
10 yards of penalties are killing you here.
5 seconds gone in quarter number 4, 27-20. Panthers up. Myers fires, overthrows Peck, and fortunately overthrows the defensive back in the likes of Eric Trossel. So now brings up the 4th down and the punting team. Well, Blue Devils 1 score down, but Mike, they got to get that one back here soon. Hansen will punt. Greencastle didn't have enough ball players in there, so they'll bring Vochel back in. Standing at the 13-yard line, gets it up. Going to chase the back. Trossel can't cover it, so a great punt actually for Blue Devils in that situation. Back to the 32-yard line. East Pennsboro at the 32. They trot the offense out once again. It'll be 6, 7, 8, 9th time they touch the ball. Or actually 10th time.
Greencastle hurt themselves on that drive with the 2 illegal procedure penalties.
Yep. Blue Devils have fumbled 3 times and lost all 3 here. East Pennsboro has thrown 1 interception. Penalties are 4 to 5. They'll send the man in motion. Hansen will go with him, and they're going to give it to Fegley. Fegley's trying to get around the outside. This time he does, and he quickly gets out of bounds after about a 3-yard pickup. Unofficially, that's his 6th run of the second half. He had 6 in the first half. This is a young man that averages 25 per game.
Again, they ran the motion across the field, and the corner leaves and goes with motion, so there's nobody out here to set the edge. So if he gets the edge, he's going to go.
He does have the speed and the power to do so. They're going to give him 2 yards on the carry, 2nd down and 8. 1 score up, East Pennsboro is. Full house in the backfield. Again, it looks like usually Fegley gets the ball in this one, and he does. He runs right into Bray Peck. Peck, and they get a good many yards on that one, but Peck
That's a shame that he did because Peck played that. He took that lead block and threw it to the side, and he hit Fegley. But listen, Fegley's 209 pounds. He's 5'9", and he's a strong kid. And he ran into Bray Peck, and he fell forward. Now they're giving him the 1st down.
Yep. They were going to measure, but they decided not to.
They decided to just say 1st down.
10th 1st down for East Pennsboro of the ball game. Greencastle has 13, which is about normal for the Blue Devils. Believe it or not, averaging about 14 1st downs a game. Actually, I take that back, 16 a game. The opponents averaging about 8. I formation backfield. Wing to the right. Fegley the call, straight up the middle, brought down 3 yards up. Not 8 yards a carry. You know, we keep saying that. Another injured ball player, the one I think you made the original tackle, and now he's able to get back up.
Sprague.
That is Sam Sprague. 2nd and 5 now. TJ Stallman, pretty decent night for him. 5 of 8 in the first half passing, 2 of 5 so far here in the second half, so he's 7 of 13. Up under center this time in an I formation. They'll bring the wing back in motion to the other side of the field, and they're going to give it to fumble. It was Fagley. Blue Devils say they have it. The officials have not agreed with us yet.
Nope.
Now they're holding up 3, so they're saying he held on to it. That would have been a big play.
That would have been a huge play for the Blue Devils to jump right there with the ball. So it should be 3rd and 2 here.
Third and 2.
And long 2.
And the ball spotted at the 48-yard line, just inside Greencastle territory. East Penn willing to take a lot of time off the clock as the Blue Devils do in the huddle. Stallman straight up under center, I formation, backfield. This time it is Dennis. Dennis is hit first. He's going to get the first down, though. Yep, he's going to get the first down. He was hit early on, but the Blue Devils couldn't make that stop on the play. And so it will be a first down.
And these are the best backs that the Blue Devils have played this year.
No doubt.
No doubt about it. They don't go down with arm tackles or at first contact. You got to wrap them and run your feet. And so they're working, they're getting every yard and making the Blue Devils work to stop them.
And they really do need to stop this drive, Mike, right now. It's 8:55. If you're Blue Devils, you're not even thinking about coming out here with a win. You want to tie it right now so you can get into overtime and hopefully pick up the win. That is Fagley again. And Fagley now starting to pick up some yardage as he runs through the line.
Starting to get 4 or 5 yards a clip here. He got another Blue Devil down. That looks like Bobby Ryder.
2nd and 5.
And that time they ran right at him and picked up 5 yards. So maybe they're seeing some things or got some things going here that we don't know about from up here. But they're trying to eat the time off the clock, and it seems to be working.
Well, they're doing that well. 8:18 left in the ball game. Blue Devils trailing by 1 score. 4-0 record on the line for both teams. Wing back to the left. He'll come in motion to the near side of the field. I formation in the backfield with Fagley, who will get the ball and he's hit. He breaks through it, keeps his feet moving, and picks up about 1 or 2 yards. That's what he does well.
That's exactly right. Overalls are in the backfield, and it has him, but he just doesn't wrap up and pull him down, and he's able to squirt through for another 3, 4, 5 yards. And again, the best backs that they've played this year, and you got to wrap them up and hold on for dear life.
Well, a 3rd down situation facing the Panthers, and more importantly, facing the Blue Devils. Panthers in the driver's seat, the ball and the lead.
Now, see, in this situation, if you don't pick up any yards, I think you do punt here.
Oh, I think you do also. I formation, no, excuse me, it is the gun. And everybody going out. Straight back, looking the quick pass. Gets it to Dennis. Dennis gets hit and keeps on rolling. He's going to be about 2 yards shy of that first down, Mike.
Yeah, the slip screen, they love that play, and it's not been successful at all tonight.
They haven't picked up a lot of yards on it. You're right. All right, 4th down and 2. What do you do? Call it, Coach.
I think if you're East Pennsboro, you kick it, you try to coffin corner it and roll it out around the 10 or the 5. You just don't want to give them momentum. If you go for it and you don't get it, they get all excited, and who knows what happens in the next 6 minutes. So you punt it away, and even if it goes into the end zone, they got to go 80 yards to beat you.
Greencastle going to keep everybody up. They'll take the chance of where the ball lands. Now they go back. It is a fake. It is a fake, but he doesn't get it. He is stopped. The Blue Devils respond.
That's what my kid does that on Madden football and ends up losing every time and then cries.
Dunnigan with the first hit and Anderson with the second hit for the Blue Devils. And if the Blue Devils go down and score, maybe, just maybe, someone over there might be crying too.
I agree. I don't understand it. I just don't get it. Why give the other team momentum if you don't have to? Even if you kick it out of the end zone, they got to go 80 yards to beat you. Instead, you give them momentum, a little bit of better field position up around the 40. It makes no sense at all.
You gave them 18 yards. Actually, Myers out of the gun. Fires, and it might have been blocked, or not blocked, but tapped a little bit. And it falls short of the intended receiver, Bray Peck.
But I also agree that if you're Greencastle, you don't have to You don't have to go in shotgun and start throwing the ball over the field and do things that you're not comfortable with doing. Just run your offense and see what you get here.
6 minutes and 16 seconds. Plenty of time. Sprague goes right.
Counter crisscross.
It
That's
might
the
be.
formation.
Votro in the... Oh, my goodness gracious. Someone else moved. Sorry about that reaction. But that is the third motion penalty in the last 2 series.
Goodness gracious.
Is that what I said?
Yeah, you should apologize for that. Goodness gracious.
2nd and 15. Well, 2nd and 15. Clock is 6:16. Blue Devils, I jinxed it. They had 1 penalty in the first half. 4 now in the second half.
Now you come clean.
Yep. Here is the misdirection. Sprague gets hit right away. They knew that was coming as you knew that was coming, Mike.
Yeah, double tight, double wing. That's what they run it out of. And in that situation, if you get penetration, anytime you get penetration on that play, it doesn't work. Now you got an incomplete pass, a penalty, and then a tackle for a loss, and you're at 3rd and 16, 17 here. 3rd and 17, and there aren't many plays in the book for 3rd and 17.
No, there's not.
And this is where you miss Derek Measle.
They're going to work out of the pistol. It's like a little motion on our part. Straight down the middle to Sprague. Sprague with a great catch over the middle, and he has the first down near the 46-yard line in East Pennsboro territory.
They go verticals, 4 verticals, and Myers gets it to Sprague. He catches the ball, gets hit, and hangs on. And there you have it. So Sprague picks up the first down on the 3rd and 17. He gets, about 19?
Yes.
And here we are.
With the ball back again. Back to pass, looking to throw again. Coming down here to Sprague once again, and overthrown that time his intended receiver.
Plenty of time.
Yep.
Get some positive yards.
So Greencastle 1 score away, 7 points away. 5:18 up on the clock.
I like that play to the wide side of Votro into the flat. Roll out over there, give it to Votro on the flat, or run the flood route to the wide side. Now you got the double crisscross formation.
You do. With Votro in the backfield, 2 wings, 2 double tight ends, as you said. Someone moved, and it's going to have to be Greencastle, I believe.
Sure.
It is. I thought they moved last time, Mike, but
they're killing themselves.
They are. That's their 4th illegal procedure in the last 2 possessions.
That's 20 yards of field position.
Yep.
20 yards of field position they've given up.
5:09 up on the board. Greencastle Antrim trailing East Pennsboro 27-20 here at East Pennsboro. Double tight end, double wing. Votro the lone back. Myers fakes, rolls, fakes, throws, and intercepted at the, I'm going to say, 50, 45, 43-yard line.
Yep, 43-yard line.
Intercept. East Pennsboro has the ball in their own territory. 1st and 10 with 5 minutes on the clock. And 50, the 45, the 43-yard line. 4 turnovers for the Blue Devils tonight. Not only, Mike, did those penalties hurt, but the 4 turnovers certainly.
The 4 turnovers hurt. And here, the guys are covered. You expect Myers to maybe throw that ball out of bounds. He pumped it. It wasn't there. Maybe get rid of it, heave it out of bounds or whatever. But, I thought maybe they went to the pass a little too early in this situation.
Running formation. They're going to give it to 22. He is hit at the line of scrimmage and brought down. 22, of course, is Fegley. That is his 10th run of the second half. He has 16 overall. So he's going to end up with maybe 20, a little shy of his average, which is 25.
Shy of the average. You got to start thinking about your timeouts here if you're the Blue Devils. You want to, if they don't get anything on this down, you want to start getting this clock stopped.
Yeah, because they're using the full allotment of time, 30 seconds on the play clock. They're going to give it to Dennis. Dennis coming around the edge, and he is hit by Hansen. Nice tackle. Just got down low on him, and he picks up 2 yards on it.
So you got 4:11 to go, third down. 3rd and 6 here. That's a long 6, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a long 6.
That's 3rd and 6.
Clock now under 4. Greencastle, if they hold here, will have a little time left to go to work.
Quarterback's up there talking to Fagley. Who do you think's going to get the ball?
I would go with Fagley.
I would think you're going to give it to Fagley, especially when you're talking to him.
They do, and he leaps over, and Bobby Ryder just grabs him and throws him down.
Call it. No.
I don't know. Saving it for the offense, I guess.
Wow.
So they'll take it down, and Greencastle will have about 3 minutes left on the punting situation. 3 and out. It's been a while since we had that. So 4th and 5 and...
Take the delay of game penalty too, right?
Yeah. Hansen will go back to retrieve the punt. Punter is Cobb. He's had some boomers here tonight. Blue Devils going for the block, but he gets a nice one off. And Hansen can't bring it in. Oh my goodness gracious. Get out of the end zone. Did it? Yes, it did. Greencastle catches a royal break on that one. Instead of starting at the 1 and going 99, now they go to the 20 with 8. Full allotment of timeouts left, and 2:48 on the board.
2:48 on the board. I think you got to give it to Votrel. So if you're going to throw it out in the flats, throw some flood routes, get some guys on the sideline, get them able to get up the field, run out of bounds. And Kurt Hansen dodged a bullet there. If you call for the fair catch, you got to catch that ball.
Yeah. But the way he looked, he called it, and his back was to it. Myers comes up under center, double tight end, double wing back. They're going to fake that end around. Sprague's loose over here in the corner, makes the catch, gets hit right away hard.
Yeah, that ball, the corners, they're sitting back. They're going to sit back into cover 3, and they're just going to react to the ball, and that ball's in the air a long time in that formation. They get a timeout here, yes?
Yes, they do. Timeout is called by the Blue Devils at the 2:30 mark of this one.
I mean, East Penn doing a nice job. In this situation, you play your corners back. You set them back. The ball's in the air. You break on it and go make a play. And crazy as it sounds, that's a long throw for Myers. So you throw, the field's 58 yards wide. So he threw that ball about 30 yards across the field in the air, which gives the corner a lot of time to react on that. And he about broke Sam in half.
Yeah.
And so for 2 yards, you got a guy killed for 2 yards. You like to have that one back.
Yeah, you would.
Maybe we shouldn't do that.
I'll remind you this broadcast brought to you by Mobile Express Deposit from F&M Trust. With Mobile Express Deposit, you can use your smartphone camera to point, click, and deposit checks anytime. Mobile Express Deposit, another great feature built into the F&M Trust mobile app. Learn more at fnmtrustonline.com. Member FDIC. 2nd and 8 for the Blue Devils. 2:30 left in the ball game. Devils down by 7 points, 27-7. Sidecar. Meyer steps up in the pocket and fires. Completes it to Sprague for the first down. Sprague is hit. He just needs to go down and hold on. There's the whistle to stop it. Another big catch from Sam Sprague. And another great pass from Mr. Myers on that one.
Yeah, just running the 4 wides, trying to get 4 verticals down the field. So nice job on that. Sprague with the catch. And he doesn't go down. So you can't fight for extra yards in this situation.
Nope, got to go down here. 1st and 10 from the 45. Myers with the time. Throws for the Sprague again. And on the sideline, in and out of his hands. That would have been a great catch if he could have brought it in.
Yeah. Trying to go down the sideline and finding them. And now you're going to start to see East Penn roll their coverage to Sprague, which is going to open up some other guys. So you're still going to get get it to Peck underneath. I still like it to Votrel underneath because Votrel can catch and run too. And if you clear out with Sprague and you bring it underneath with Votrel, he can go the distance.
2:07 after the incomplete pass. Clock will start obviously on the snap. running back right beside the quarterback. Myers now has to get out of the pocket, and he's going to run, and he's going to get some yards and then go out of bounds. He gets about 8 yards on that one. Nice run, nice decision for Myers.
Stops the clock at 1:59.
Well, we said early on in the ball game may come down to an extra point, and that it may. 27-20. 3rd down and 2 for Greencastle. 1:59 on the clock. Obviously, clock situation, everything 4-down territory. They complete the pass to Braypeck, who gets the ball out of bounds, and a Greencastle 1st down. Still fighting, Mike.
Still fighting is right, and East Penn, because they're back off, just throw it underneath and let the guys catch it for a 5-yard. And, that's what you're saying over there. Catch a ball and tackle them, but try to keep them on the field of play.
Yep. It's when they go out of bounds, it hurts them. Blue Devils come up after the call. James Hine is the lone back in the pistol formation. Myers throws out here to Sprague. Sprague has a little running room and doesn't get out of bounds that time, but picks up about 5 yards. This is one where I think you got to hurry here, guys.
1:38 to play.
Now there's a timeout Greencastle's going to call.
It just doesn't make any sense, though. Not to be overly critical, but if you're going to call a timeout, call it at 1:39, 1:40. Don't wait for 5 seconds to run off and then decide you're going to call it.
So the Blue Devils now with the clock and the defense against them in this situation. They have, it's really immaterial how many yards to the 1st down.
Right. That's irrelevant. That sticks are irrelevant now. But you know what we haven't really seen of a lot tonight is Spencer Myers throwing the ball to his left.
No.
We have not seen him roll left or throw left tonight, and whether that's by design or what they're thinking of doing, but you got the wide side of the field over here to the left, and this might be a nice time to get him this way or to get something on this side of the football field.
Blue Devils trot out after the timeout. Clock will start going on the snap. 27-20, East Pennsboro with the lead. They last scored in the 3rd quarter. 4th quarter has been scoreless for both teams. Myers under center. Fakes the play, tries to roll right. Oh my goodness, he gets thrown for a loss way back at the 45.
Why? Everyone in the stadium knows you're not going to run the football. Everyone in the stadium knows you're not going to run it. So get in the shotgun and let them throw. Now you wasted a play. You wasted a timeout.
You wasted 5, 6, 7, 8 yards on that one.
Right, and as you said, the sticks are irrelevant when it's 2nd and 8. But now it's 3rd and 16. The sticks are relevant again. Wow.
Now, how many timeouts you get?
You got none now, right?
All right, that's what I'm saying. They're done.
Oh.
Yeah, that one hurt, that play. 3rd down and 15, which is, again, immaterial. Minute 26. 2 plays to go for the Blue Devils here, unless they get the 1st down.
Yep, you got to get it in chunks. You don't have to get all 16 this play.
2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Spencer trying to come out of the pocket and goes nowhere. Greencastle can't call the timeout, and they can't down the football.
So 4th down, and you got to go.
4th down, you need 20 yards for the 1st down.
Might as well take your time.
Oh, he's calling the play. I thought he was calling a timeout because you can't call a timeout. There it is. Spencer back in the pocket. Looking to throw. Fires downfield. Going to be short and intercepted down at about the 35-yard line. A fumble, but he gets back up after dropping the ball and then finally tackled at 40, 50, 40, 35-yard line. And that will do it. 5th turnover for the Blue Devils tonight.
That ball came out of Spencer's hand funny looking too. Came out kind of wobbly. It wasn't a good tight spiral, so might have got loose from them. The East Penn takes a timeout. They're going to come out and talk about the victory formation.
They will have to run one play, and then it'll be over. The Blue Devils will lose a heartbreaker here, and one they could have, should have. But East Pennsboro, if they would have lost, they would have, should have, could have, would have too.
Right. East Pennsboro did everything they had to do to win this game tonight.
Right.
They played a good football game. They were solid out there. They made the defensive stops in the second half that they had to make.
Yes, they did.
They made the plays when they needed to make the plays. They stepped up. Greencastle shot themselves in the foot with the penalties and just got behind the 8 ball with the, letting those big 40-yard pass plays in the first half get you. 2 big
pass plays in the first half. 5 turnovers for the Blue Devils, 2 INTs and 3 fumbles, and then 4 critical motion penalties in their next to last and next to last series. They were the difference in this ball game, perhaps, when you look back over it. So they will go to the victory stance. They will snap the ball and so take there it is. That will most likely conclude where they'll get another playoff, Mike.
I don't depends on when he sets the ball. If he sets it under 35, you're good. Let's see. Yep, they don't have to run it.
They probably shouldn't have to run it, but they are. There's 28 up there, so he looks at the clock. He's gonna take the snap and then go down. That is the ball game. It is a 27-20 victory for East Pennsboro here tonight as they remain undefeated at 5-0. Most likely will go home the Colonial League champions. And we'll be back with the post-game show right after these messages on the F&M Trust Sports Network on MidPennBroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
It's home equity season at F&M Trust. The best time of year to rake in big savings with some of the best rates around on a home equity loan or line of credit. To rake in your savings during home equity season, visit fmtrustonline.com. Equal housing lender.
Hey, insurance companies that want to spend a gazillion dollars on funny TV ads can go right ahead, as long as it's not my money paying for it. For seriously good auto, home, business, or life insurance, I go to Erie Insurance, where a great price is just the start. You get unbelievable service, independent agents you can really trust, and superior products. But don't just take it from me. Talk to your local Erie agent.
Call Antrim Insurance. In Greencastle, call 593-0500. In Waynesboro, call 762-4565.
Have heating or air conditioning needs? Look no further than Lecron's Comfort Solutions. We service all brands: heat pumps, humidifiers, system replacements, gas, oil, electric heat, and ductless systems. Lecron's Comfort Solutions is your authorized Trane dealer. Call Corey at 717-597-3768 for a free estimate. We are licensed and insured. Lecron's Comfort Solutions. Local company, local name. Serving Greencastle and all of Franklin County with professional service and installation.
Del Martin Incorporated, a full-service advertising agency, has been serving the tri-state area for 35 years. We specialize in screen printing and embroidered clothing. Del Martin Incorporated supplies a full range of brand-name uniforms for athletic, work, and medical applications, and a full line of advertising essentials. We have an in-house artist ready to put your ideas to work for you. T-shirts for schools, clubs, churches, and events. Del Martin Incorporated, 21 Sarah Susan Lane, Greencastle. Phone 717-597-5751 or online at delprint.com.
Every day, Fast Signs helps businesses with their visual communications. We ask the right questions, recommend smart solutions, and help you build your business. At Fast Signs, we're innovators, planners, and designers, and we're more than ready to help. Contact Fast Signs today.
Visit www.fastsigns.com or visit us at our Greencastle and York locations.
Live and local. This is MidPennBroadcasting.com.
Well, not the end result we were looking for. Blue Devils fall for the very first time this year, 27-20 to an East Pennsboro team. And, it was one of those games where we said right before we got to the postgame show, by the way, it was brought to you by Antrim Insurance, your local area insurance agent serving Greencastle, Waynesboro, Chambersburg, Mercersburg, and surrounding areas. Antrim Insurance, 169 South Antrim Way, Greencastle, 1685 East Main Street in Waynesboro. If you look back again, 5 turnovers, 4 critical motion penalties, and 2 big plays on the part of the East Pennsboro Panthers. Again, it was like a game Greencastle could have won.
Could have won, and it's a game that you sit here tonight, and on the bus ride home, you start thinking, boy, it'd be nice to match up with them in the playoffs.
Yeah, it would be.
Because it's one that you can get. You eliminate 5 turnovers, the stupid penalties. You eliminate some of that stuff, and this is a game I think that you go, you know what? I think we can get these guys. It turned out bad for us tonight, but I think we could get them.
Fegley came into the ball game. They were able to stop the running game for the most part. It was just really the pass plays that hurt them. Fegley had, I'm going to say 10, 15 carries, and not a whole lot of yards. Certainly not a 200-yard game for him. But they were 8 of 14 in the air. 2 of them resulted in touchdowns, and they scored their 1 touchdown, their last one, after we fumbled at the 1-yard line. And, you take that one away, certainly it's at least a tie ball game. But they had, actually had 3 passes that they completed for touchdowns, and that's basically the ball game for them. They did what they had to do there, and just the way it rolled out. Myers was 13 of 25 in the air, and really, again, I could go back over the scoring, but all you need to know is that we gave up a ball on the 1-yard line on a fumble. We fumbled 3 times through 2 interceptions, and it's hard to win ball games that way.
Yeah, it's impossible. You shoot yourself in the foot. Just if you look at the turnover margin, whether you watch games Friday night, Saturdays, or Sundays, the turnover margin usually tells you who the winner is.
And it was 5-1 because we had the 1 interception, and Greencastle did, so 5-1 will do it. Mike, you got some scores there before we get our final thoughts?
I do have some scores. It looks like Mechanicsburg won at Shippensburg, 45-21. Waynesboro is beating Northern 33-17. And James Buchanan's up 28-17 against Big Spring.
Good for the Rockets, and that is a little surprise that they won that easily after, especially the game Big Spring gave us last week. Well, here's the deal. You're 4-1. You have a chance to run the table and be 9-1 and get a playoff spot. Maybe somewhere East Pennsboro falters in the league. Maybe not. Who knows? But the season's not over yet.
And the season is definitely not over yet. East Pennsboro, as you said, could falter. You kind of what we've seen so far in the league. Maybe not. But yeah, definitely the season's not over. But 9-1. So even if East Pennsboro wins the division, you're still going to be a playoff team if you finish out 9-1 with a pretty good seeding.
Right.
And you got a chance to maybe win a first-round game and move into second round. So, if you would have said when the season started to Coach Taninis, hey, you're going to lose a tough one during the middle of the year, but you're going to end up 9-1. Everyone would sign up for that.
I think so. We would, wouldn't we?
I would have.
Certainly would have. Well, tonight's postgame show has been brought to you by Antrim Insurance, your local area insurance agent serving Greencastle, Waynesboro, Chambersburg, Mercersburg, and surrounding areas. Antrim Insurance, 169 South Antrim Way, Greencastle, and 1685 East Main Street in Waynesboro. Tonight's game has been brought to you by F&M Trust Mobile. Bank wherever you are with your smartphone, transfer funds, pay bills, and more with the F&M Trust mobile app. Details at fnmtrustonline.com. Member FDIC. Waste Management, environmentally friendly technologies and advanced innovations. RE/MAX Premier Executives Agent Lois Baer. Del Martin Incorporated, a full-service advertising agency serving the tri-state area for 35 years. Lecron Comfort Solutions, serving all of Franklin County with professional service and installation. Brothers Pizza, dine-in, carry-out, and delivery. 50 Pine Drive, Greencastle. Antrim Insurance, your local area insurance agent. And Klein's Tours, New York City, Atlantic City, and more. Visit KleinSTours.net for complete tour schedule. Tonight's game has been a production of MidPennBroadcasting.com. Tonight's camera operated by Steve Sibio. Join us next Friday night on Mid-Penn Broadcasting and Game Time PA for Greencastle Antrim hosting the Hershey Trojans for homecoming, while Chambersburg travels to Mifflin County to take on the Huskies in a Commonwealth Division game. That broadcast begins at 6:30, while our coverage begins at 7:15 p.m. Again, our final score tonight, East Pennsboro 27, Greencastle Antrim Blue Devils 20. For Mike Monadora, this is Greg Hoover. Have a good evening, everyone.